800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-687-5192.
Jason Fitz and Harry Douglas are Fitz and Harry.
Jordan Love hasn't played enough, so his fifth-year option would have been $20.272 million. Instead, they're giving him a contract for next year that's $22.5 million, including $13.5 million fully guaranteed. It also takes some of that pressure for this year off, because now you know this year and next year he's under contract. I hear people say, well, what if he can't play? The only counter I would have to that is if he gets out there and he's just garbage this year, he just sucks, he's terrible this year, everybody in that organization is losing their job anyway. Like, at some point, look, you're already, if that's what happens, the money spent is the least of your problems at that point. Oh, by the way, we drafted this guy. We ran Aaron Rodgers out of town. Aaron Rodgers is now a Super Bowl caliber quarterback with the Jets, and our guy flat out sucks. Like, the money question would be the last part of that they'd have to answer.
Fitz and Harry, weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman.
Joel Embiid was officially announced as the NBA MVP.
To watch the maturation of the process, which is like the nickname now that's been attached to him, to see him come to this point where he finally got paid his dues for the way his game has been the last several years, I cannot be happier for Joel Embiid.
Key, Jay, and Max, mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. The biggest names in sports are on ESPN Radio.
NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman.
I don't think our competitive balance is matched by any other sport. And making the playoffs is tough. And once you get in it, there's nothing like our playoffs, particularly the first round.
Luke Kennard, who's our guest here from the Grizzlies. I'll look back whenever I'm done playing this beautiful game of basketball. And I played against one of the greatest of all time.
Alabama defensive end, Will Anderson.
I think what I just bring to the game is like nobody else. You know what I'm saying? The mentality I have, the passion I have for the game. I put so much work in to be in this position, and I'm just ready for it to pay off.
Von Witherspoon of the Seattle Seahawks.
What is the biggest thing that you've been told that you need to work on going into the next level?
There's a lot of the trash talking for real after the play. A lot of unnecessary trash talk.
The biggest names in sports come here. And it all starts weekday mornings with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, and continues all day. This is ESPN Radio. Did you miss Canty and Carlin?
Leading up to the draft, as I was preparing, I just got mock drafted out. And I said, I just want to start drafting stupid things. All right, what are things that we can draft? We got to the worst people when you're ordering food. I had an incident at the drive-thru where I was not welcomed back to that particular Burger King. They had a 2 burgers, 2 fries for $2 deal, and they ran out of burgers, and I was screaming at the box. You call yourselves the Burger King. That happened, I promise.
Canty and Carlin, weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. This is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. The Celtics have the most road playoff wins of any team in the NBA over the last 2 seasons with 11. They'll try to make it 2 straight in Philadelphia today against the 76ers. Boston leads the series 2-1. Tip-off for Game 4 is just a few minutes away now on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. Later in Phoenix, the Suns hope to hold serve at home in Game 4 against the Nuggets. Denver leads that series 2-1, but the Suns put together an impressive win in Game 3 behind Devin Booker's 47 points. Booker's teammate is Kevin Durant.
Can't say enough about Book. Like, I'm at a loss for words, just how he approaches the game, how he's just a leader of this team and this organization, how he brings it every single day, and we just follow his imprint, and, we rally around him.
Kevin Durant had 39 points in that Game 3 win. Stanley Cup playoffs today. The Devils about to face off against the Hurricanes in Game 3. Carolina leading the series 2-0. The Panthers carry a 2-0 series lead into their home game tonight against the Maple Leafs. And the Stars and Kraken will play Game 3 in Seattle. That series tied at 1. Sunday night baseball in San Diego. The Padres hosting the first-place Dodgers. Coverage of that one starts at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and TV. And the announcement today, the Dodgers and Padres will open the 2024 regular season with 2 games in South Korea, the first time MLB has opened the season abroad since Tokyo in 2019.
Coming up Monday, I know we're all focused on the NBA playoffs, but the Major League Baseball season's over a month old now. How are we feeling about the new rules changes? Monday morning, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
Okay. The Indianapolis Colts. I want to start with a comment. Our colleague Stephen Holder, who covers the Colts, had a story about sort of the decision to draft Richardson and kind of what led to it. He said that Chris Ballard decided, who's GM of the Colts, decided weeks before that Richardson was their guy. And, I think it says that they knew Bryce Young was going to go 1, but they weren't sure what was going to happen after that. And he had a quote from Ballard. It was Ballard, an indirect quote, where I guess Ballard said, according to a source, all these quarterbacks are flawed, so let me take the dude who might be a grand slam. Dominique, I love that thinking. I love that thinking because the way, if you're picking in the top 4, go for it. I feel like you got to go for it at the quarterback position, especially in the AFC right now, where you've got all these freaking mutants like Allen and Herbert and it's just obviously Mahomes. And if there's anyone who knows that average ain't good enough, it's Chris Ballard over the last few years. I do think, and Ed Stevens' story makes this clear, though, it wasn't just, his view of wanting to grab the potential upside of Richardson, but the marriage with Shane Steichen that really drove this home. And this is why we all kept saying Richardson Colts, because it was the quarterback coach pairing that was the easiest to imagine. It literally is hitting copy paste on the Eagles offense. I'm not saying it's going to be Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying he can do all that stuff immediately, but it was just the most obviously correct marriage for them. And maybe it won't work out, but I just, I don't know if Anthony Richardson gets drafted there 5 years ago, frankly. So I'm glad they went for it. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Yeah. I think that the Hurts, Allen, Lamar, these are all people who I think have helped NFL GMs and teams wrap their mind around something different. And I think the best example of it is probably Justin Fields. And I know that doesn't seem like the one you would point to necessarily, but when you're making the argument that you loved from Chris Ballard, part of the point is, what you're saying is any of these quarterbacks can fail. Honestly, most of them will fail because that's the history of the league. But only one of these quarterbacks has the potential to be up there with those top tier guys. Or I wouldn't say only one. There is one with more skills that would land him up there. So it's more likely. You feel more confident that it could happen. But then you also could say that you pick him because his ceiling is higher. But I also think you could argue that you pick him because his floor is higher also. And I know that that's hard to wrap your mind around because he hasn't played that much and he has accuracy issues and there's just a lot of questions around him. But that's what the running ability did for Jalen Hurts, is that kept the floor high enough for him to develop this other stuff. And that's why I said Justin Fields
That's what's happening with Fields right now, Yeah,
because Justin Fields is on objectively a very bad roster as far as NFL is concerned. But their offense is mediocre. You know why they're mediocre? Not because Justin Fields is zipping passes into tight windows of bad receivers, because he is a super athlete at quarterback. And that's what you just drafted in Anthony Richardson. So he's going to lift the floor of your team, presumably, as soon as he gets in there with just his running ability. The dimension that adds to the offense will lift the floor of your offense. Mediocre point.
Yeah.
And if he can develop all that other stuff, then you're good. If not, then too bad.
And his running ability will make his life easier. First of all, it looks like he's going to start immediately, which increasingly I think is the correct thing, by the way, as he starts, because not just because it gives him a floor, but also because it means he'll face simpler defenses.
Yep.
He is a math changer. And if you're a math changer, you guys see a lot of cover three. It's just it's what it is, you know.
We wrote about all this with Lamar, and no one believed us, but we were right.
We are in wrong prison about a lot of other things. So
we are in wrong prison,
but yeah, that's one that'll help him. And and it's just a great coach pairing. But also, so the whole draft is really. Take all the combine numbers and mush them into one number out of 10 was 9.5 out of 10, which is insane for a draft. Richardson had a perfect 10, by the way. So the second pick was a cornerback. This is actually a very funny pairing, 2 and 3. Cornerback out of TCU, Julius Brents, who's like 6'3", long, strong. And then the third round pick was Josh Downs, who's the tiny receiver out of UNC. So I just like that together. They also, another faller, I don't know if there was I didn't see any medical rumors, but Ade Adewale out of Northwestern is the
backcourt. What does that mean? Well, Tyrese Maxey and James Harden averaged over 40 a game combined in the regular season. They got 25 combined in game 2, 29 in game 3.
So yeah, go Colts.
I would just throw in there with the down selection, as I like him as a combination with Richardson. Stuff, because the other receivers that they have, I don't see as those type of guys. So like jet sweeps.
Game 1 performance and a front line of Tobias Harris and P.J. Tucker, and Joel Embiid in the middle. Missed game 1 with a grade 2 knee sprain. Had a 30-point, 13-rebound, 4-block shot game 3 in defeat. In fact, he's got 9 block shots over his last 2, as they have sufficiently warmed up the crowd. They're in full throat, and we're just about set to go for game 4. Can the Sixers tie the series and send it to Boston even, or will the Celtics head home Tuesday night with a chance to clinch? We'll find out in just a couple hours.
I think the atmosphere is good. I actually thought we would sense a little more unease in the building.
I did too.
Doesn't feel that way at all. It feels like they think they're going to win.
Sixers,
and they're going to support their team.
In their blue uniforms, Fila across the chest, numerals in white. Celtics in the white uniforms, white bottoms, numerals in Kelly green. Celtics across the chest.
Today's NBA.
That's right. Always white on the road. We are underway with game 4, and the Sixers win the opening tip. James Harden will bring it into the front court to our right. John Goble, James Williams, Gediminas, Petritis are officials here for this fourth game in the second round series. Harden has it on the right, dribbles free throw line into the lane. Nice pocket pass to Embiid, who lays it up and in for the first bucket of game 4.
2 paint points. Doc's going to be happy to see that. There were not a lot of paint points available to the Sixers game 3.
Not often when they are under 30 paint points in a game, as was the case in game 3.
Second time all year.
That's right. Here's Tatum, dotted line, 14-foot jumper is short. He thought he got fouled. No call. Harden has it the other way.
I hope he got fouled. He was about 8 feet short.
Here's Maxey at the top. Slings it over his shoulder. Back to Embiid. Takes an extra dribble. They slough off defensively. He'll shoot the 3, and he'll miss it. And rebounded by Boston.
Boston's not going to mind Joel shooting 3s.
Jaylen Brown with the mask on, able to float one up and in traffic. Tough basket for Brown for Boston's first 2.
Jaylen Brown has had a great series, offensively and defensively.
Just underway, a minute in, tied at 2. Maxey trying to use his speed, stops on a dime, steps back, D2 all net. Good start for Tyrese Maxey.
Certainly is.
Maxey's shooting percentages, like James Harden's, way down in the last couple of games.
The 2 of them, both games. Hard to believe.
4-2 Philadelphia. Tatum at the top, right side to Smart. Smart pass back to Tatum. It was offline. Maxey jumps in and knocks it away.
Not a smart pass.
Down floor, Tobias Harris in traffic foul as he was passing out to Embiid. He was fortunate, Harris was. He was about to lose his footing and might have traveled, but got the call in the bailout.
Well, he did lose his footing. Jaylen Brown screaming at Gediminas Petritis. I thought he walked beforehand.
Foul's going to be on Jaylen Brown. That's going to be number 1. And it'll be side out of bounds, Philadelphia. Front court, right sideline, 21 to shoot into James Harden. Harden with the 45-point masterpiece in game 1 has struggled since. Drives on Horford, bumps him off the spot, and floats it in.
Doc Rivers couldn't have scripted this start any better.
6-2 Philadelphia got a basket for Maxey, got a basket for Harden. Here's Tatum off the curl. Ball's knocked away. Embiid with that long reach got a hand in. On the other end, Maxey sends it to Harris in the corner. Smart cuts him off on the end line. Now he backs Smart down to the low box. Turns off the window and in. Great start to game 4 for the Philadelphia 76ers.
2 turnovers, 4 points off the turnovers.
8-2 in favor of Philly. 9:40 left in the first. Jaylen Brown beats Embiid down to the baseline right. P.J. Tucker comes over. Brown spins through the double and puts it off the glass and in.
The other Celtics are turning the ball over. Jaylen Brown is scoring.
Harden picked up by Jaylen Brown near half court as he's done the last couple of games. Dribbles to the right, finds Embiid free throw line, puts it on the deck, gets fouled, puts a shot up, no good. He'll get himself to the free throw line.
Doc's got to be very happy with attacking the rim. A couple times in transition, they got the ball down the floor quickly and got it in. They look like what we thought might be the case early. The team that realizes they have to win this game today.
Philadelphia took game 1 in Boston and took home court right away. And then after the loss in game 2, the big beating in game 2, and then gave home court right back with the game 3 loss here on Friday as Embiid hits the first of 2 as 20,000 could go silent so quickly for Embiid, who's been terrific at the free throw line here in the postseason. He misses the second, announcer jinx. 42 of 46 at the free throw line here in this postseason. 9-4 Philadelphia.
Well, he's an 86% shooter in the regular season, unlike a lot of other bigs.
9 minutes to go, opening quarter. Maxey pushing Tatum all the way back to half court defensively. Shot clock at 8. Tatum's momentum into the three-point line. Now to Brown. Corner contested 3 is all net. What a shot by Jaylen Brown.
Well, if I'm Joe Mazzulla, I would get the ball to Jaylen Brown. If I'm Doc, I'd get the ball away from Jaylen Brown.
Here's a corner 3 missed by Tucker. Long offensive rebound. Harden knocked down. No call, but Philly keeps. Over to Harris. A 3 rattles out. Embiid another offensive rebound. He's hit from behind. And a blocking foul against Boston at the 8:37 mark to go here in the first. And if that's on Jaylen Brown, and it is, that is 2 fouls on Brown with 8:37 to go here in the first, and the crowd recognizes it.
Well, you got caught in a mismatch because of the offensive rebound. Jaylen Brown was in the restricted area, and the ball came to Embiid. There was nothing he can do, but he got caught where he shouldn't have been, trying to defend Embiid. Doc was listening to us. If you're going to stop Jaylen Brown, get him off the floor, because it looks like he's in for a big day.
First free throw good for Embiid. Jaylen Brown still on the floor with the 2 fouls. Joe Mazzulla is going to roll the dice. He's got all 7 of Boston's points here early.
I'm a little surprised. So early in the game, even though he's going well, you can't take a chance. You get caught like that last play. You just get caught wrong time, wrong place. The 3rd foul, that would really, really hurt.
Both free throws good for Embiid, 11-7. Brown looked back at Mazzulla. I don't know if that was something Joe said to him or if he was wondering why he wasn't coming out.
Well, I hope the assistants reminded him.
Well, they need him in because Jaylen Brown just lifted and knocked down a triple. He's got all 10. I guess they gave him a 2 there. Got all 10 of the Celtics points here, 11-10.
I thought it was a 3 myself.
It was a 3. It's 11-10. I guess I had the score wrong. It's 11-10 is the accurate score. They gave 3 to Brown.
Okay.
He's got 10 in the first with 8:07 to go here in this first quarter.
I know Jaylen Brown is on fire, but boy, be careful.
Here's Brown, gives it off to Horford in the corner. Celtics down 1. Horford to the tip of the circle. Great feed to White, trailing the lane, and he scores on the lay-in.
Really nice look. Al Horford. So many, it's funny, Kesty, in the league now, there are more passing bigs, really good passing bigs than I remember at any other time.
Tucker, right corner 3 is a miss. Rebounded weak side by Derek White.
Each corner, Tuck's had a good look.
Brown with 10 points in this first quarter. Has it on top. Boston by 1. Lifts for 3. Missed it front rim. Rebounded by Embiid and a quick outlet to James Harden.
That was good defense by Tucker. That was a tough shot right there.
Harden at the top. Goes right side Maxey. Catch and shoot 3 on the way. No. Tapped out by Embiid, but right to Marcus Smart.
Numbers.
Smart with a 3, 4 on 3. Feeds a rolling Brown who slams it home. A dozen in the first quarter for Jaylen Brown. Gets a high 5 from Joe Mazzulla, who left him in the game in foul trouble, and the Celtics lead by 3.
Doc's got to be happy. We talked about how they had to attack the rim. They're doing that, Kesty. They're 4 for 9 overall, though. 0 for 5 from downtown. It's the opposite of the last game. They kept making 3 every time they attack the rim. They score.
Boston with the early lead and a timeout taken by Doc Rivers, 14-11. Boston leads Philly, 7:10 to go in the first. You're listening to the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Sarah wants a yard. My own little paradise. Brad, however, hates yard work.
The only thing I hate more than cutting the grass is paying someone to cut the grass.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Sarah and Brad found a great home with a yard. A very, very small yard.
Time to get it done. And I'm done.
Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
I'm so yeah. So
I read that John Michael Schmidt had a first round grade, so I'm gonna take the readings word for it because I am not.
Third on the baseline.
The young Al Horford.
Marcus Smart penetrating the paint. Back to White. 15-foot push shot. No. Rebounded by Harris. Nobody named Jaylen Brown could get it going for Boston right now, though the Celtics lead by 3. 14-11 Celts, 6.5 to go here in the first quarter of Game 4 as Harris backs down the smaller White, penetrates and kicks out to Harden. He'll drive the post, 7 to shoot, outside Harris, inside NB, turnaround 10-footer is good for Philly.
I got to think Doc told them at the timeout, hey, guys, we haven't missed a shot yet inside the line. Let's continue to go to the rim until they stop us.
All 5 of their field goals in the paint, 14-13. Celtics lead trimmed to 1. Under 6 minutes to go in the first. Jaylen Brown playing with the 2 fouls. Gets a screen. Does not shoot the 3. Gives it up to Horford. His 3's missed. Offensive rebound. Tatum, nice run. He'll send it out to the corner. Horford gives it back to Tatum. A wide open look for 3. Missed it on the front rim. Rebounded by Harden.
Well, I'll tell you, these offensive rebounds, teams are not getting matched up. That was a wide open shot.
Harden driving down the post. Outside it goes Maxey. 5.5 to go first quarter. Philly down 1 with the ball. Maxey takes off down the lane. Floater over Tatum. No. Tipped up and in. I think they'll give it to Tucker as Philadelphia takes the lead. No, they're going to give it to Tyrese Maxey on the basket.
I thought it was P.J. Tucker, too, but I like his name.
15-14. Philadelphia leads. 5:10 to go in the first. Tatum spinning off a high screen. Now has Embiid coming out at him, so he retreats to the three-point line. Dribbles left to right. Lost it momentarily. Got it back. 5 to shoot. From the left wing, White. Bounce for Horford. Tipped away by Harden. It's on the floor. Shot clock at 0 as Brown gets off a shot. No good off the rim. Tapped twice and Boston keeps. Here's Tatum floating it. No, and rebounded by Embiid.
Philadelphia's lucky to giving up offensive rebounds.
Maxey right into the body of White, who got a block on the baseline. And now Boston coming right to left. Here's Marcus Smart flipping it up. No tip. Horford won't go. Horford gets it again, and he's fouled as he went up to try to get 2 more.
Doc screaming to get him in his Petritus. He thinks they're fouling over the top. But I don't know whether they gave him an extra rebound for the tip, but that's 4 or 5 offensive rebounds already. Tyrese Maxey's walking around holding his back. Kesty, he went coast to coast, and there might have been some contact on the shot. He's kind of trying to straighten his back out, and he's got an arm reached behind it, holding on to his back.
We'll have free throws coming in a moment for Horford, and as we do, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed. Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlesimo with you from Philadelphia as Al Horford ties the game with the first of 2 free throws. PJ, they did give that bucket to PJ Tucker, the one we thought they initially announced Tyrese Maxey, but the 2 go to Tucker.
Even though we're up high here in our broadcast position, Kesty, you know we have the eagle eyes. Kesty, how about both teams already with 4 offensive rebounds apiece? There's 8 offensive rebounds in the game already. We haven't played 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes in. Difference, though, Philadelphia's cashed it for 4 points. This could be Boston's second point off an offensive rebound if Al converts.
Free throw up, free throw in. Celtics lead 16-15. In between free throws, Jaylen Brown went out. So Joe Mazzulla rolled the dice with the 2 fouls. It worked out. He got 12 points in 8 minutes. Philly looking to grab the lead back. DeAnthony Melton on the floor first time. Drives baseline, kicks it outside to Harris. Tobias missed a 3. Long rebound. Maxey fouled as he came into the lane to grab it, got knocked down. He's helped up by Embiid at 4:18 to go here in the first.
Well, I'm not going out on a limb. I can guarantee you both coaches at the next time out are going to mention the words offensive rebounds because both teams are just getting assassinated on the boards.
4th team foul, Boston. Side in Philly. Harden has it. Harden using the high Embiid screen. Picked up by Grant Williams, who's in the game. Now back to Embiid, tip of the circle. Against Malcolm Brogdon. Bumps him hard. Spins. 15-footer. Missed it. Rebounded by Tatum. Tatum, Horford, White, Grant Williams, and Malcolm Brogdon on the floor for Boston. Catch and shoot 3. Horford missed from the left wing. Rebound, Maxey.
We barely had it in shot. That was a quick catch and shoot.
Boston 2 for 7 from deep. Philadelphia's 0 for 7. They work it around to Harden on the right. Can James Harden get going? 1 for 2 in the game. Drives, fouled at the rim. Shot falls off, no good. But James Harden will earn a pair of free throws as Jason Tatum picks up the personal.
Well, no surprise, I guess, if you look at it, Kesty. We got 2 gangs that couldn't shoot straight. You mentioned 0 for 7 from 3-point for Philadelphia, 2 for 7 for Boston. So I guess it's not surprising that we have 9 offensive rebounds already in this game.
Meanwhile, both shoot very well from the free throw line coming into this game as Harden hits the first. The Celtics were 54 for 57 at the free throw line, and Philly right behind them, 55 for 62, 87% best in the NBA in the postseason.
Incredible shooting from both of these teams, but again, exactly what they did in the regular season. They're both excellent free throw shooting teams.
George Niang in for Philly. Tobias Harris sits down. Harden hits both free throws. James with 4 points, and the Sixers go back in front 17-16.
Just to finish that point, Kesty, Philly number 1 in the league in free throw shooting, Boston number 4. So you would expect them both to be right on top.
Derek White at the point guard controls against Anthony Melton, who backs him up between the circles. Now pulls from 3. It's on its way, and it's good. Derek White dropping the triple.
That looked like, what are we going to do? I might as well just shoot it, and knocks it down.
He's shooting 42% from 3 in the postseason. Boston leads by 2. Here's Harden around a high screen. Dribbles out to the left wing. He's got Robert Williams on him. Now gets by him. Williams tried to swat for the block. Couldn't get it, and Harden scores the lay-in.
Right when you said he's got Robert Williams on him, James Harden said, no, I don't. We're right by him.
19-19 game on the Harden basket. Brandon Williams, left corner, up fake against Embiid. Pass to the cutting Robert Williams is a foul. His body's all over the restricted area. Robert Williams went down. So did George Niang. Fouls on Niang, who I think was in the restricted area. There'll be a block on Philly. Timeout here in South Philly with 2:44 to go in the first. Sixers, Celtics, deadlocked at 19. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indy.
I'm Zoe. I own Muck and Brass, which is an upcycling homewares business, and this is why I switched to Shopify. One of my biggest challenges was the lack of support when I really needed it, and it would always slow down the momentum of my business. With Shopify, I could get hold of a real person quickly, and not only would they solve a problem I had, they'd also give me the tools to feel empowered moving forward. I felt like I didn't even know who my customers were. Thanks to Shopify analytic tools, I feel more confident with the products I'm creating, and the sales are actually reflecting that. With Shopify's theme editor, I can easily share elements of who I am in my shop and have full control of how my brand is represented. I spent nearly 7 years on other platforms, and I'm kicking myself for not making the switch earlier. Not only do I know my customers better, but they know me better as well. Start your new journey today on Shopify.
Get a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/play. That's shopify.com/play. Go to shopify.com/play to take your business to the next level today.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Susan has always wanted to live in a chateau. I like a certain je ne sais quoi. While Jake is more into the Cape Cod style home.
It's a classic look.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they can save even more. In the end, Susan and Jake found a Cape Cod style home where they will only speak French.
Bonjour, je t'aime, merci beaucoup, and cordon bleu.
You'll get better with time. Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
Finally, baseball is back. Swing into the season with tickets to the action. Plus, with basketball and hockey heating up, now is a great time to experience a game. Vivid Seats is proud to be the official ticketing partner of ESPN. From on the glass to in the stands, Vivid Seats has great ticket prices to all the games. Every crack of the bat, every dribble down the court. Catch it all with Vivid Seats. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live.
Monday on Canty and Carlin, can the Lakers take control against Golden State, or are the Warriors about to even things up? Plus, the Knicks in big trouble against Miami. It's Monday, Canty and Carlin, 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Kevin Richard with you inside our Granger studio. Doc Rivers told our guys, Mark Kessler and PJ Carlissimo, before the start of tonight's game, he wanted a better first quarter.
They jumped on us early, and we really never could get a hold of the game. You know, we felt like we were playing in the behind position the entire game, and that's tough, man. So, and then you think about the first 3 games, they've had the lead in all 3 games. You know, in game 1, we came back and won the game. So, we got to try to have a better first quarter for sure.
Well, they did at the outset. They led by 6, but Jaylen Brown countered that quickly with 12 points. It's tied 19 apiece. Still 2:44 to go here in the opening corner as we go back to South Philly with PJ Carlissimo. Here's Mark Kester.
All right, Kev, thanks a lot. Well, one thing he got better than game 3, 7 2-pointers. Unfortunately, 0 3-pointers for Doc Rivers' crew so far.
And almost as many paint points already, Kesty, as they had in game 3. It's their second lowest total in a game this year, the entire year, postseason and regular season. So it looks to me like a concerted effort. Put the ball on the floor and attack the rim.
James Harden already with 4 paint points. He had 4 paint points the last 2 games combined. Right now tied at 19. Here's Brogdon. 3-pointer miss for Boston out of the corner. Maxey the rebound. Maxey with DeAnthony Melton, Niang, Tobias Harris back on the floor, and Joel Embiid, the MVP of the NBA, who just received the pass on the arc. Gives it up, gets it back. He's going to back down Grant Williams, mid-post left, double come, skips it across to Niang. Good look at a 3, and it swirls through the first triple of game 4 for the Sixers.
George Niang has played well, Kesty. I'm going to be surprised if we don't see more of him today.
George Niang giving Philadelphia the 22-19 lead. Here's White in the lane, blocked by Embiid, but it comes out to Boston. Shot clock at 9, 2 minutes to go in the first. Tatum, little rip-through move against Melton. Dribbling on the arc, now dribbles to the free throw line, lost the ball tip. Robert Williams came up with it, and as he tried to pass inside, whizzed it way past Grant Williams' turnover.
You say that's the 3rd time that Jason Tatum's gotten into the paint. He short-armed the first shot, and he's lost the ball the other 2 times. He's 0 for 3.
Jason Tatum, who struggled through game 2, but it was foul trouble, bounced back in game 3. And it's been a struggle here in the opening quarter, but Jaylen Brown's dozen powering Boston. Brown still on the bench. 22-19 Philadelphia. Melton left wing, minute 40 to go. Sixers with it. They lob it into Embiid against Smart. Turns, sees it single coverage, goes at Smart, puts it in, and draws the foul. And a little drawing between Smart and Embiid. Embiid retreats to the free throw line and a chance at a 3-point play.
I didn't see the foul. Joel just totally overplayed him. I want to see the replay. I thought Marcus just went up with both hands. Was there a foul?
Yeah, hand on the back momentarily.
Yeah, he kind of reached down. I don't think that's the matchup Joe Mazzulla wants. As good a defender as Marcus Brown is, Defensive Player of the Year last year in the NBA. You don't want him covering Joel Embiid.
Who converts on the 3-point play. For a moment, looked like Grant Williams was going to help out and double, but when Grant turned away, Embiid saw the one-on-one.
Yeah, that other play, Robert Williams, the third, came across and doubled him. That's what left George Niang wide open.
Boston with it, trailing. Grant Williams, topside 3 is too strong, and Embiid secures the rebound. Joel Embiid with 10 points and 5 boards here in the first quarter of game 4. 6-point lead for the 76ers, their largest, down 2 games to 1 in the series. Minute 10 to go, first period. You send it into Embiid, turns on the baseline left, cut off by Grant Williams. Off balance shot, good. It's a dozen to open this game for Joel Embiid.
As many medical people as we have now on the different teams, I think they're going to be ordering up sprained left collateral ligaments for their big guys if you're going to play like Joel Embiid.
Jason Tatum missing a 3 on top. Long rebound tipped out. Another offensive rebound, and Brogdon on the perimeter is fouled by DeAnthony Melton. I believe they had a foul to give here. And it'll be side out for Boston. 10-0 Philadelphia run currently.
And a 2-for-1 opportunity right here for the C's. Jason Tatum needs to get on track.
Inbound Tatum drives on Embiid, floats it off the window, too hard, never touched the rim. And now with about 11 seconds difference on the shot clock on that 2-for-1, Maxey drives, looked for contact, didn't get it, missed the shot, tap, no good by Maxey, and rebounded by Boston.
I'll give him a pass. I guess he was trying to create the 2-for-1 because that was not a good shot.
Marcus Smart with about 2.5 seconds difference on the shot clock,
Jason
slowing it down.
Tatum 0 for 5 has not scored in this opening quarter.
Tatum and Horford are 0 for 8 combined. Here's Smart driving. The big man Embiid floats out to the left. Jumper misses. Tapped underneath. Controlled by the Sixers. 1 second to go in the quarter. A runner by Harris for 3 was blocked by Grant Williams on the perimeter. And the 76ers, with a flourish to the end of the first quarter, have the lead by 8. And they're on their feet in Philly.
K-Dub referenced it. Doc thought it was really important for them to play from ahead. They've accomplished that. They have just locked up Jason Tatum to this point.
Sixers score the last 10 of the first quarter and lead the Celtics after one, 27-19. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
This week on Sunday Night Baseball.
Out of here. The wind didn't bother Freddie Freeman right there. He got all over it.
Heated National League West rivals go head-to-head in San Diego when Freddie Freeman and the Los Angeles Dodgers face Manny Machado and the Padres.
There it goes and gone. Home run, Manny Machado.
The Dodgers at the Padres on Sunday Night Baseball. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. You can also listen on the ESPN app.
Oh, dude. I just got back from the future.
Excuse me?
I saw a glowing light, and then I was whisked through a doorway to the future.
So what's up? Will we all be wearing spacesuits?
No, the future is about innovation, comfort, and confidence. Underwear and undershirts with 4-way stretch that adjust to you.
That sounds like a Tommy John store to me.
Could I walk into a Tommy John store today and get a shirt that stays tucked in, yet won't bunch up?
The patented Tommy John Stay Tucked undershirt?
Well, what about an untucked shirt that is a hidden sweat-wicking layer and also a t-shirt?
The Tommy John Modern Fit undershirt. I'm wearing one. Everything has their best they'll ever wearers free guarantee. It's why Tommy John doesn't have customers. They have fanatics.
Can I get this stuff anywhere they carry Tommy John?
Sure. Or visit TommyJohn.com/stream and get 20% off your first order, including undershirt packs. 20% off at TommyJohn.com/stream. See site for details.
Tommy John.
The quest to crown a champion begins at the SEC softball tournament.
This is the best postseason conference tournament in the entire country. You're just not going to see better competition in this winner-go-home scenario.
The 2023 SEC softball tournament begins Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern on SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet.
Show them what I'm made of.
Kevin Ucha with you at our Granger studio. Best start the Sixers could ask for.
They lob it into Embiid against Smart. Turns, sees it single coverage, goes at Smart, puts it in, and draws the foul. And a little drawing between Smart and Embiid. Embiid retreats to the free throw line and a chance at a three-point play.
Free throw's good. 12 points for Joel Embiid on 4 of 6 shooting, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Meanwhile, for the Boston Celtics, they were utter disastrous shooting the ball. If you take away Jaylen Brown's 12 points and 5 field goals made, that's 2 field goals and 7 points the rest of the quarter. Sixers go to the second, up 8, 27-19. We go back to Philly with PJ Carlissimo. Here's Mark Kestisher.
Jeff, not many times you're going to have Tatum, Horford, and Smart have an 0 for 10 quarter. That's what they had in the first.
What K-Dub was just talking about, you take Jaylen Brown's 5 for 7 out of there. The rest of his teammates shot 2 for 16. Both teams can't make a 3. Celtics are 3 for 11. Philadelphia's 1 for 9. Both teams have 6 offensive rebounds. The difference, though, in the paint, Sixers 16 paint points in the first quarter. They only had 28 in the entire game 3.
So the Celtics make an adjustment here in the second. They're going to start on offense. In the midst of a 10-0 Philadelphia run, Paul Reed defending. Malcolm Brogdon thought about rising from 14, didn't. Out to Smart with 8. Smart, nice fake out. Goes to the left and knocks down a 15-footer. That'll end the 10-0 run right there in Smart's first points of Game 4.
He went right at James Harden. Just fouled James Harden in the backcourt. There was no call.
He's been James Harden sees Marcus Smart in his dreams of late. Here's a nice feed from Harden and a reverse jam. Paul Reed underneath the basket. Remember, it was Reed who was starting for Joel Embiid when he was injured. Played good basketball.
Esty, we said the same thing in Boston. I'm loving the way Paul Reed is playing off the bench and with the one start when Joel did not play.
Here's Smart rising for 3 and connecting over Tobias Harris. Smart with 5 points to open the second quarter for the Celtics.
Yeah, he didn't like the way we were talking about him and the other Celtic players, other than Jaylen Brown.
29-24. Jaylen Brown still now on the floor, actually, to start the second quarter with those 2 fouls early. Harden gets a high screen from Reed, dribbles to his left, has the mismatch against Robert Williams, puts up a 3 and connects. He went down to the deck hoping for a foul call he didn't get. but Harden's given Philly an 8-point lead, and on the other end, quickly, Jaylen Brown penetrates and scores.
Tell you, James Harden is liking the matchup when he gets Robert Williams III out. He went by him one time for a layup, and that time he made a tough contested three.
Harden looks a little more spry here tonight, bouncing around, dribbling, and knocking home an 8-footer.
Again, Kesty, I have to contradict you. He doesn't look a little more spry than he did the other day. He looks a lot more spry.
And we got a whistle and a Philadelphia foul as Boston brought it up at 10:13 to go. Second quarter, 34-26. Philadelphia, James Harden 4 for 5, 11 points. It's almost mind-boggling to see him go from 45 to what we saw the last couple of games to what we're seeing so far today.
Everybody keeps saying he played like Houston, James Harden. I got news for you. He didn't play that well when he was in Houston. He was unbelievable in game one.
Here's Boston driving. Brogdon blocked by Harden. Loose ball picked up by Williams. His shot no good. And we've got a whistle and a foul on Tobias Harris in the act. Marcus Smart was trying to get the basketball underneath on a Robert Williams putback attempt at 10 minutes to go in the half. And we'll get free throws for Marcus Smart and the Celtics. The foul should be on Tobias Harris. Boy, I don't see that call, PJ. I mean, Smart was just trying to
maybe put his right arm on his back. Watch, he kind of touches him right there on the belt.
Gotcha.
But boy, I'll tell you what, there wasn't a lot there.
I thought the initial call was to put Smart at the line. That's what didn't make sense to me. But yes, Harris had the arm into Robert Williams, so it'll be Williams going to the line for two, and the first is good.
Well, get him in his Petritis. The whistle was a little late. Everybody thought the foul was on the next shot. It wasn't on that. It was on the previous shot. It was two quick plays underneath.
Robert Williams, who had 3 blocks, 5 rebounds, game 3. Second free throw, no, tipped in the air, but secured by Paul Reed of Philadelphia. Sixers with a 7-point lead, 34-27. 9:50 to go in the half. Harden 2-man game with 3. Dribbles, goes to the left hand, floats it up from 12, and it falls. And James Harden's having one of those games tonight. He's got 13.
Yes, he is. And these are those minutes that they're so concerned about when Joel Embiid's on the bench. Right now, they're thriving.
9-point lead. Smart for 3. Rainbows another one in. What a start to the second for Marcus Smart, keeping Boston in this one.
Offensive Marcus Smart came out here in the second quarter.
Marcus Smart held scoreless in the first quarter. He's got 8 points here in the second. 9:20 to go in the half. Niang receives the pass on top. One dribble to the left and buries a 3 where the net barely moved.
George Niang has really given Doc Rivers good minutes.
No, they were 0 for 7 to start. Their 3 for their last 4 as Brown drives deep for Boston. Missed it. Harden comes away with a rebound. Sixers up 9. Pass to Melton. Angle right 3. No good. Rebound contested and won by Boston. And now the pass from Jaylen Brown, nearly stolen by Melton, knocked right back to Jaylen. He'll send it up top to Brogdon. A 3 on its way, and good. Malcolm Brogdon brings Boston within 6.
That DeAnthony Melton 3 would have brought the house down, and they had a really good little run going there. But that's a big answer from Malcolm Brogdon.
39-33, Philadelphia. 8.5 minutes to go. Clock moving here in the second. Harden getting a screen from Reed. Now drives down the center. Bumps off the defender. Brogdon free for a moment. That's all he needed. 15-footer goes in for Harden, who's up to 15 points.
Forget Houston, Brooklyn, or OKC, James Harden. I'm calling him Game 1, James Harden.
Brogdon shoots over Harden. Missed the 3. Reed the rebound. Harden clapping his hands. Said, get me the ball.
Give me the ball.
Game 1, James Harden going at it. Gets through a screen to the right. Crossing 8 minutes to go in the first half. Harden stops the dribble. Brogdon defending pass. A dangerous one. Harris gets tied up with Jaylen Brown. It goes out of bounds. No foul call. Just tipped out by Brown. And it'll be side out for Philadelphia.
Doc Rivers cannot believe it. James Williams did the smart thing, though. He gave them back the ball. I'm not sure it was off him, but it really looked like a foul. And guess who got tangled up with him? It was Jaylen Brown.
That would have been number 3.
That would have been a huge call had it gone the other way. Tobias Harris is walking around. Jaylen Brown fell on the back of both his legs. He's going, what do I have to do to get a foul call?
Doc Rivers having an animated discussion with John Goebel. 8 to shoot on the shot clock. Philly inbounds. Melton gets it right to Harden, who wheels, fires a 3, and connects. All net 18. First half points for James Harden. Timeout Boston. Harden's back. He's off the milk carton, and he's delivering Philadelphia a Sunday afternoon special.
And he's got a standing ovation. Welcome back, James.
18 for James Harden. Philadelphia leading it 44-33 over the Celtics, and a timeout called by Boston with 7:49 to go in the first half. You're listening to the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Coming up Monday, we'll recap all the NBA action from the weekend. Plus, has the favorite for the title changed? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Monday morning, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Welcome back to the Munich Heim Show featuring Lenny. The only NFL podcast of one of the host's favorite GMs is Duke Tobin, because he's a dog's name. That's Lenny. That horrified laugh? Delighted laugh?
Yeah, I didn't know where you're going with it. That's all. I was like, favorite GM, this is going to be good.
The dream team is back. Dominique Foxworth, very low on the screen, but high in my estimation. It's so good to have you back on the show.
It's so good to be back. It was such a regular part of my life at one point. I miss you, and I miss your crazy listeners.
Let me throw a quick shout out to your podcast, you guys. If you aren't subscribing, the Dominique Foxworth Show, excellent podcast. Right now, they're covering a lot of NBA stuff as well. So if you're interested in more than football, it's a good hang. But we're not interested in more than football. We only talk football on this show, sometimes TV. This is actually my first real opportunity to kind of take stock of the draft. I was on NFL Live on Monday, but we didn't get to really dig into everything. So I'm excited to do that with you. We're going to start off by picking a bunch of drafts that we loved. I wrote loved. I don't know. And then we're going to talk about drafts that left us asking questions, which is my way of copying out of picking losers. No, I actually, it's a mixture of, I think, good and bad.
I didn't do that. I didn't pick losers. I gave you actual questions, and then I realized,
they're good questions.
She just didn't want to say winners and losers.
I didn't pick losers either. I just picked drafts that left me. Well, I think one of yours could be criticized. The draft could be criticized, at least one. So yeah, we're gonna. They're good, and spoiler, one of them is the Ravens too, which we have a guy.
Great ticket prices to all the games. Every crack of the bat, every dribble down the court. Catch it all with Vivid Seats. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live.
Monday on Canty and Carlin, can the Lakers take control against Golden State, or are the Warriors about to even things up? Plus, the Knicks in big trouble against Miami. It's Monday, Canty and Carlin, 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Kevin Orchowitz, your time now for Digital, brought to you by Geico. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Go to geico.com today. Here in the NBA on ESPN Radio, did you know the Celtics 19 points in the opening quarter? Second fewest for the Celtics in any quarter this postseason. Back in Game 4 in Round 1, they had only 18 in the fourth quarter against the Atlanta Hawks, and that's a game when they lost in Game number 1, where they won together in Game 1. So the second fewest points the Celtics have scored in any quarter. You look at James Harden and Joel Embiid, Marquez Tesser, PJ Carlesimo, combined 30 points in this matchup for the Sixers. That's got to be loving it for Doc Rivers. Back to you guys.
And he's got to be thrilled, PJ, with James Harden. 5 shots. Everyone is touching less net. He's got 12 of the 17 Philly points here in the second.
Guess he's also got 3 assists and 2 rebounds. He's got a game's worth already.
And meanwhile, Marcus Smart carrying Boston 8 points in the quarter, 3 of 3 shooting, 2 from deep. Just received the pass from Malcolm Brogdon, got it right back to Brogdon. 7:40 to go first half. Bounce to Tatum, trying to get him on the board. He's 0 for 5. Wheeling at the free throw line, puts it on the deck, drives Niang, knocks it away, and it's loose. A turnover, Jason Tatum having a nightmare first half. here in game 4. Melton, bad pass. It short hopped on the left and went past Niang out of bounds.
James Harden's got more points already than that last game. He's got 18.
Jaylen Brown went deep into the lane, passed it out. Marcus Smart missing on a 3. Nobody in the corner, and Embiid chasing down the loose ball and rebound. 12.6 boards for the MVP, Embiid. Harden's been the MVP of the second quarter.
I'll say the Joel Embiid on the bench minutes were pretty good for Philadelphia.
Led by Harden, who's dribbling on top against Jason Tatum. At the three-point line, tries to get by him at the free throw line, does. Layup, falls off the rim, no good. Horford rebounds.
The team might have got a piece of that. Interesting right now with Jaylen Brown, 2 fouls. They don't want him on Harden.
Tatum catch and shoot, missing from 3. It's been a struggle. 0 for 7 for Jason Tatum.
This is looking like game 2, Jason Tatum. Wasn't that the game he really struggled?
He did. Mostly foul trouble was the culprit here. Just can't hit from the field. 44-33 Philly. 6.5 to go, second quarter. Harden passes left. Niang catch and shoot 3 on its way. No good. Rebound Tatum. An outlet to Jaylen Brown. 14 points. Got most of his work done in the first quarter. Tatum was 1 for 7. Melton takes it away. Melton on the other end. Missed the bunny at the rim. And Boston will come from right to left. Brown driving to Brogdon in the corner. Now to a wide open Horford on top. And his three's no good. And Boston's gone ice cold. And Doc Rivers said, I don't care either team. We got to slow this down and regroup. And Doc goes right at James Harden. Has a couple of words for him. Both teams will get to regroup at this time.
I think James said to him, what are we taking the timeout for? And Doc told him whatever he was thinking.
He's got a smile on his face, does Doc. Everybody will regroup here with 6 minutes to go in the first half. Philadelphia 44, Boston 33. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
This week on Sunday Night Baseball.
Out of here. The wind didn't bother Freddie Freeman right there. He got all over it.
Heated National League West rivals go head-to-head in San Diego when Freddie Freeman and the Los Angeles Dodgers face Manny Machado and the Padres.
There it goes and gone. Home run, Manny Machado.
The Dodgers at the Padres on Sunday Night Baseball. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. You can also listen on the ESPN app.
Coming up Monday, we'll recap all the NBA action from the weekend. Plus, has the favorite for the title changed? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Monday morning, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Digging deeper, we're gonna strike gold. The road to the ACC Softball Championship is on ACC Network.
Over the wall and gone!
A team that doesn't give up.
Live from South Bend, Indiana.
They get ready to play for a title.
The 2023 ACC Softball Championship presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
The ACC champions.
Begins Wednesday at 1 Eastern on ACC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app.
We're gonna strike gold. Zay Flowers, he is the separator in this class. He's so fast that a lot of his tape at BC is him having to slow down.
Listen and subscribe to The Mina Kimes Show, featuring Lenny, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Jason Fitz and Harry Douglas are Fitz and Harry.
Titans GM Rand Carthon joining us. There were rumors out there that you guys would probably be looking to trade Derrick Henry. How does that work into your plans?
All those things that came out about Derrick and all those things, it didn't come from inside our building. When these things come up, if it's not from Mike, myself, or Amy, then it's probably not worth looking into.
Fitz and Harry, weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Kevin Winter with you inside of Granger Studio. Doug, coming up on the AutoZone halftime report, we'll look ahead to Game 4 tonight in the Valley. Suns and the Nuggets. Denver leads that series 2-1. Doc Rivers calls timeout with Philadelphia leading by 11 as we go back to Mark Kester Show and our coach, PJ Colissimo. PJ, how much of that timeout by Doc is we've got the lead, they can't do squat offensively, let's get some good offensive possessions and try to put some distance between us and them?
That's 100% sound, Kevin. It's interesting because when James Harden walked to the bench, I think he said to Doc something along the lines of, why are we taking a timeout? Doc said, because we just missed 4 shots in a row. James made most of the first 7 shots in this quarter. Now they've missed their last 4. And at this point, Boston can't throw it in the ocean. Doc's saying he's looking up at the score and he likes the fact that we're up 11, but he's thinking like a coach saying we should be up 20, not 11.
Philadelphia 7 for 11 shooting in the second quarter. They opened 7 of their first 8, so they've missed 3 straight. The Celtics have missed 4 in a row. 0 for 7 on that last segment between timeouts. See if everybody's ready to go here. Philadelphia with it, front court to our right. James Harden dribbling out past the left hash mark with 12 to shoot. Now we'll go to Embiid inside the three-point line. 3 dribbles to the paint, double comes, sends it over to an open Harris in the corner. He'll drive with 3 to shoot, flips it up baseline, missed it. Embiid comes away with the rebound, got fouled, and his shot no good. Joel Embiid, extra effort, will shoot a pair. He's got a few words, I think, with Tobias Harris, right, to reset. Guys are not in the right spots here coming out of that timeout.
I thought Tobias was going to kick it out to Tyrese Maxey. He was wide open for a 3, but I'm sure Doc may have mentioned, guys, let's attack the rim. Tobias missed the short jumper along the baseline, but Joel just climbed over 3 people and grabbed the rebound.
Including Jason Tatum, who was arguing that Embiid ended up on his head. Foul goes on Tatum, his second. Joel's free throw no good.
Is that his second free throw missed? He's a really good free thrower.
Yeah, 4 for 6 so far in game 4. Embiid only missed 3 free throws the whole postseason as he splits the 2 there to put Philadelphia up a dozen. Biggest 76er lead right now, 45-33, 5.5 to go. First half, Boston's been stuck on 33 for a bit. Here's Brogdon at the top, finds Jaylen Brown off the curl, dribbles near the free throw line. Maxey gets up on him with 7 to shoot. Back outside, they reload Brown. Foul line extended right. 1 dribble, pass with 1 to shoot. Quick catch and shoot 3. Horford off the rim, no good. Shock even got that off.
That was a tough shot. Jaylen Brown couldn't get the shot off. He really put Horford in a tough situation.
Embiid hits the jumper from 15 feet away as Philadelphia extends the lead, 47-33.
Doc's right. They want to bleed it 1 possession at a time right now. Wow, a lot of contact.
And a blocking foul on James Harden as Brogdon dribbled right into Harden who went careening. We got a late call from James Williams, who then definitively...
It's like he was calling offsides in football right away.
Foul on Harden will be his first. Celtics haven't scored since the 8:46 mark of the second quarter. We're at 4:51, so nearly 4 minutes scoreless for Boston, trailing by 14.
Probably a bigger concern for Joe Mazzulla is to get Jason Tatum to see a ball go through the rim.
Here's Tatum on the drive. He'll pass out, though, to Brogdon. Corner 3 misses, rebounded by Harris. Philadelphia, biggest lead of game 4, a 14-point lead, and the ball with 4.5 to go in the second. Harris turns on the left into a double, gets it over to Maxey on the right, up top Harden, 10 to shoot. Embiid wants it, gets a tip of the circle against the smaller White. Tries to pass to Harris, but Horford was in the way. Outlet to Brogdon. Harden's back. Brogdon gets by him. Reverse lay-in good as Boston finally gets on the board.
Not a good decision by Joel Embiid. He tried to force it in the middle of 3 white jerseys.
47-35, Phillies lead down to a dozen. Embiid against Horford. Faces up outside the mid-post right. Little one-on-one game. Rises, fires, connects. 17 for Joel Embiid.
It's hard to believe he missed 13 days, Kesty, away from basketball. It's not like he was working out during those 13 days.
Yeah, dealing with a right knee injury. Sprain, grade 2. Here's Tatum looking for his first bucket. Misses on the fade. No good. Jason Tatum now 0 for 8 in game 4. Here's Harden on the drive. Got deep. Defense comes. He gets knocked down. No call. Missed the shot. 5-on-4 for Boston. Here's a pull 3 for Brogdon. Good. Little 5-on-4 power play, and Brogdon hits the triple.
Brogdon started out this series missing his threes, and he's been on fire the last couple of games.
49-38, the lead down to 11. Embiid, a one-legged free throw line jumper, miss. Rebounded by Brogdon. Malcolm into the front court, puts his head down, gets by Tucker, layup. No, but he got a whistle. John Goebel blowing the foul on Tucker, who thought he had ball. Tucker will pick up his second personal foul, 4th team foul in the quarter as Brogdon will head to the free throw line.
Tough call. watching the replay, definitely fouled him. I don't know what Tuck's talking about. No question he fouled him.
Trying to sell it as Brogdon heads back to the line. Malcolm Brogdon, 15 points per game off the bench here in this series as he hits the first of two. And the three-point shooting's been exquisite. Sixth man of the year, who's shooting 38% from three in the playoffs, 50% in the series.
Every time he shoots it, it looks like it's going in. He's playing with a lot of confidence, and bench play has really been a plus for the Celtics.
Well, Brogdon has delivered them to within single digits. He has scored the last 10 Boston points on those two free throws, down 9 of the Celtics.
These last 3 minutes are much more important for Philadelphia than they are for Boston, Keston.
Just went under 3 minutes to go in the half. Harden to Maxey on the right, puts it on the deck, covered nicely by Brogdon, chasing him out beyond the perimeter. Now Maxey gets a screen from Embiid. He's free for a topside three, and he connects. Tyrese Maxey putting Philadelphia back up 12.
Big shot just to finish that thought. Philadelphia's outplayed Boston this entire half. They need to consolidate. They got to go into the locker room with at least a double-digit lead.
Jaylen Brown jump pass to Brogdon, right corner, drives Harden to the painted area. They go outside. Horford finds Brogdon on the angle left. 5 to shoot. Brogdon drives by Harden. Oh, he just turned it over, passed it right to Tobias Harris. Harris 1-on-2 the other way, had it blocked by Tatum, who saves it on the end line all the way out to Smart.
Second time they haven't converted in a fast break.
Smart pulls for three in transition, missed it. Rebound Embiid, great spin dribble to Harris. Harris glides to the rim, puts it up and in. Philadelphia back up 14 points.
It's that downhill that Doc's been asking him to play. Get it out and run off misses and turnovers.
Minute 50 to go here in the half. You asked to see how Philly would treat the last three. It's been good so far. Jaylen Brown missing a three-pointer from the left wing.
Just got a lot better.
Here's Harden all the way down to Embiid, a half-court dime. Joel scores, and the biggest lead of Game 4 belongs to the Sixers. They lead by 16.
I think they're going to take a timeout. Nope, Joe Mazzuli's pointing. I thought he was pointing to get it up court and take a timeout.
Brown driving on Embiid, and a late foul on Joel Embiid after Brown missed the shot. Brown massaging that left wrist as he comes up and gets set to shoot a pair. Crowd seeing the replay on the Jumbotron ahead, and they thought Embiid got all ball. The question is, what about Embiid's left hand? Might have got a piece of the back of Brown, knocking him down to the deck.
I think they missed the call, John Goebel, but at this stage with this kind of lead, and it was only Joel Embiid's first foul, I don't think it's even worth debating a challenge.
And Brown missed the first of two free throws.
And somewhere Rasheed Wallace is saying,
ball don't lie.
Exactly right.
To a man that's hit all 15 of his free throws in the series until that point. Well, Jaylen Brown, he was the engine in the first quarter. Been stuck on 14 points for a while, though. Second free throw up. Missed it. Missed them both. Front rim, but nobody secured it. Ends up back with Jaylen Brown, and he knocks down the 15-foot jumper.
To say that upsets you as a coach doesn't do it justice. Misses two free throws, an excellent, very good, shouldn't say excellent, very good free throw shooter. They get the rebound and score.
Embiid with Philly up 14. A one-legged dotted line jumper won't get the roll. Tatum rebounds with 55 seconds to go in the half.
Big possession for Boston.
As Boston have a late half run. Brogdon penetrates outside to Smart. Left side to Brogdon. One dribble, got behind the line and hits another three. Malcolm Brogdon, huge off the bench here in the second quarter.
Never got matched up in transition, Kesty. Malcolm Brogdon was all by himself.
Brogdon's got 13 points in the ball game. 11-point game. Maxey looks to answer with a three and airballs it in a 2-for-1 situation. But now Boston's got it with 38 seconds to go in the half.
I don't know if he said anything, but if I can read Doc's expression, he was not thrilled with that shot.
Marcus Smart, ball fake on the three, drives in, and Embiid was going to let him go. Instead, he passed out to the perimeter. Here's Tatum, tip of the circle jumper, and he's got his first field goal of Game 4 after an 0-for-8 start.
Doc is there with his hands on his hips, and boy, he did not like that shot at all.
The lead
Tyrese Maxey
was 16. It's down to 9. 56-47 Philly. 14 seconds to go in the half. Embiid gets a high screen, dribbles to the right, shot clock at 5. Little sidestep 3 on its way, and it goes. Harden with 21 points in the first half. Inbound to Tatum with 6. Tatum with 4 on the wing to Horford with 2. Three-pointer good from the corner with 1.3. Boston within 9. Harden will inbound with 1.3. Embiid picks it up, turns, flings it from 60. It's no good. 9-point game at half, but I don't think that's the way Doc Rivers was hoping to end the half.
No, Tyrese Maxey's 3 for 9 for the half, and he's coming off 2 games which he struggled, games 2 and 3. He's 1 for 3 from 3, but I'll tell you what, he's got to play better. And meantime, I cannot believe he's the one who's getting interviewed going into the locker room.
That's right.
Well, he's lucky because Doc would be interviewing him in the tunnel on the way in.
I was going to say Joel and James wanted no part of it, but I might be wrong on that part. Meanwhile, the high scores in the game, 21 for James Harden, 15 in the second quarter. Jaylen Brown has 16 points, but Malcolm Brogdon, all 13 of his points coming in the second quarter, all big baskets.
9-point lead, that's good for Philly. It should have been more, and the one encouraging thing in those last minute and a half, not only did they chop into the lead a little bit, the Boston Celtics, but they got Jason Tatum on the board.
Well, one's down 16, Boston down 9 at half. Philadelphia 59, Celtics 50. Let's send it to Kevin Winter in the studio. Here's the AutoZone halftime report.
Kesty PJ, the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free, and it can get you back on the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone. I'm not sure that the Sixers are happy to be up by just 9, because I also don't have any idea how Boston is within 9, given the way they played in that first half. 59-50, James Harden goes absolutely berserk, as we've all been asking. Why is he on the side of a milk carton? Or player resume brought to you by Indeed. Need to hire? You need Indeed.com/credit. Harden goes 8 of 11, 3 for 3 from distance, 21 points following 2 back-to-back subpar, to say the least, performances. And now Philadelphia leads the ever-critical game 4, 59-50, as they try to even up this series. Up next, we look ahead of the Suns and the Nuggets tonight. Phoenix tries to even the series. We go to the Valley. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This is it. Enough dreaming about growing my business online. It's time to get serious about selling in my style, as big as I want to grow, because there's nothing I can't do. It's time to get Shopify.
You go and get it.
Oh, oops. I thought I was just talking to myself there. But heck yeah, I do. It's time to take my business to the next level. Start selling with Shopify to join the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Packed with industry-leading tools ready to ignite your growth, Shopify gives you complete control over your business and your brand. From templates that make site design simple to customizations that let you grow at your pace. This is possibility powered by Shopify. Get a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/play. That's shopify.com/play. Go to shopify.com/play to take your business to the next level today.
The Mina Kimes Show, featuring Lenny.
With Matt LaFleur in Green Bay, we saw kind of a few different versions of Rodgers. It'll be interesting to me to see what it looks like with Nathaniel Hackett in New York, with Garrett Wilson. Okay, offensive line. There's no doubt in my mind that it will be better than what we saw last year, but I think there's reasonable questions just of how much better it'll be and what it will look like.
Listen and subscribe to The Mina Kimes Show, featuring Lenny, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Did you miss Canty and Carlin?
Leading up to the draft, as I was preparing, I just got mock drafted out. And I said, I just want to start drafting stupid things. All right, what are things that we can draft? We got to the worst people when you're ordering food. I had an incident at the drive-thru where I was not welcome back to that particular Burger King. They had a 2 burgers, 2 fries for $2 deal, and they ran out of burgers, and I was screaming at the box. You call yourselves the Burger King. That happened, I promise.
Canty and Carlin, weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Kevin Winter with you inside our AutoZone halftime report studios.
Gets it right to Hart, who wheels, fires a 3, and connects. All net 18. First half points for James Harden. Timeout Boston. Harden's back. He's off the milk carton, and he's delivering Philadelphia's Sunday afternoon special.
21 for Harden, 19 for Embiid. They combined for 40 on 15 of 23 shooting. Sixers lead game 4, 59-50. We're on the AutoZone halftime report, brought to you by the makers of 5-Hour Energy. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com. Philadelphia tries to even up the series at 2 games apiece tonight in the Valley. The Suns look to do the same when they host the Denver Nuggets. Earlier on NBA Countdown, I spoke with ESPN's Tim McMahon coming off the Game 3 victory for Phoenix, in which Kevin Durant and Devin Booker went for a combined 86. I asked him, how much can they rely on those two players even trying to remotely put up anything close?
Look, you've got two of the top, I don't know, what do you want to say, 6, 8, 10 players in the game. Or you can debate that number, but two absolute superstar caliber players. So you're going to have a chance, but I don't think that it's reasonable for the expectations to be KD and Booker do everything and carry the Suns to 3 more wins in the series. They've got to get some help, and in particular, DeAndre Ayton really has to make an impact on the series. And I think that they need more brilliance from Booker, and they need, they also, like, KD is yet to have, by his standards, a great game.
Yeah.
39 points the other night, but 12 of 31. He hasn't had a great performance by his standards. Is that going to come? If it does, then this series could be evened up. But basically, we'll see. We'll see after tonight. If the Nuggets can get this one, I'm not sure. I don't think the series is coming back to Phoenix.
8 p.m. Eastern time. Games available on TNT television. Suns and the Nuggets. Devin Booker had 47 the last time out, as Kevin Durant was able to ride shotgun with them.
Can't say enough about Book. Like, I'm at a loss for words, just how he approaches the game, how he's just a leader of this team, this organization, how he brings it every single day, and we just follow his imprint, and, we rally around him.
Suns need the victory tonight in Game 4. One trend we've seen in the NBA playoffs, the more desperate team usually does get the victory. Up next on the AutoZone halftime report, Philadelphia is the desperate team. If you didn't hear the first half, we'll play some of the highlights because, my goodness, were the Sixers incredible. You're listening to the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
Mike Greenberg, Greeny.
The Warriors are sort of a throwback dynasty. It's been Steph, it's been Clay, it's been Dre, and it's been Steve Kerr going back to the beginning, and that is a throwback. The last time they lost a Western Conference playoff series was against the Clippers in May of 2014. Their coach was Mark Jackson. Embiid and Nikola Jokic hadn't been drafted yet. Aaron Donald hadn't played a game in the NFL, and Patrick Mahomes hadn't played a game in college.
May of 2014, I was working with you on Mike and Mike. So that's not as crazy. I just talked to our friend Cam. I was asking him, what were you doing May of 2014? He was a junior in high school.
Oh, my God.
So
you were a junior in high school the last time the Warriors lost a Western Conference playoff series.
That's correct.
You are ridiculously young. The Warriors have been ridiculously good for a ridiculously long time.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app.
Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of the Woj Pod here in New York in our Seaport studios with the nearly unanimous NBA Rookie of the Year, Paolo Banchero of the Orlando Magic, #1 overall pick last year, 98 of 100 first place votes. Paolo, thank you for jumping in. Busy day for you in the city, and appreciate you taking some time to roll through here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
Playoffs are starting, Paolo. Second round starting. And you look at this Laker-Warrior series in the West. Yeah. LeBron James, Steph Curry, who've defined this era of NBA basketball. When you look at those two guys and think of, as you're looking at some of the older stars in the league, who is the guy in your rookie season when you lined up for the jump ball and looked over and went, whoa, whoa?
Yeah. No, I have to be all the way honest. It didn't happen to me one time this year, except when we played against LeBron. That was the only time. And it was in Orlando. And it was just being out there on the court with him at that time, you just felt like the whole energy in the arena, you just felt everybody was there to see him. And so just when the game got going, I actually had a terrible game, but I just remember everything he did, whether it was it could be a a missed shot, a basket. Like, it was just the loudest cheers, and like, it was really an away game for us. I just remember being like just kind of in shock of just like the amount of attention and fandom he had, like in our home arena. Like, it was crazy. Like, every time he scored, it was 10 times louder than when we scored. So like, it just kind of caught me by surprise a little bit, man. I didn't really realize how, powerful his stardom was until you get up close and personal and you see it.
Listening to the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Here's Harden all the way down to Embiid, a half-court dime. Joel scores, and the biggest lead of Game 4 belongs to the Sixers. They lead by 16.
16 is where it would be. Our first half recap brought to you by the makers of 5 Hour Energy. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com. But Boston would score 7 of the final 9 points. Philadelphia's lead is 9. That'll do it for us on the AutoZone Halftime Report. Second half is next in Philadelphia. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The biggest names in sports are on ESPN Radio.
NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman.
I don't think our competitive balance is matched by any other sport. And making the playoffs is tough. And once you get in it, there's nothing like our playoffs, particularly the first round.
Luke Kennard, who's our guest here from the Grizzlies. I'll look back whenever I'm done playing this beautiful game of basketball. I played against one of the greatest of all time.
Former Alabama defensive end, Will Anderson.
I think what I just bring to the game is like nobody else. You know what I'm saying? The mentality I have, the passion I have for the game. I put so much work in to be in this position, and I'm just ready for it to pay off.
Devon Witherspoon of the Seattle Seahawks.
What is the biggest thing that you've been told that you need to work on going into the next level?
There's a lot of the trash talking for real after the play.
I knew it.
A lot of unnecessary trash talk.
The biggest names in sports come here. And it all starts weekday mornings with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. And continues all day. This is ESPN Radio.
Dude. I just got back from the future.
Excuse me?
I saw a glowing light, and then I was whisked through a doorway to the future.
So what's up? Will we all be wearing spacesuits?
No, the future is about innovation, comfort, and confidence. Underwear and undershirts with 4-way stretch that adjust to you.
That sounds like a Tommy John store to me.
Could I walk into a Tommy John store today and get a shirt that stays tucked in, yet won't bunch up?
The patented Tommy John Stay Tucked undershirt?
Well, what about an untucked shirt that is a hidden sweat-wicking layer and also a t-shirt?
The Tommy John Modern Fit undershirt. I'm wearing one. Everything has their best you'll ever wear is free guarantee. It's why Tommy John doesn't have customers. They have fanatics.
Can I get this stuff anywhere they carry Tommy John?
Sure. Or visit TommyJohn.com/stream and get 20% off your first order, including undershirt packs. 20% off at TommyJohn.com/stream. See site for details.
Tommy John.
How are you? My name's Scott Van Pelt, host of SV Pod, along with my partner in crime, Stanford Steve. What do we talk about mostly on the podcast, Steve?
Sports.
Some.
Parenting.
I feel like that comes up a lot. I feel like most recently I've needed some help because I feel like my shortcomings there are evident. It's life stuff, relatable content.
It's fun.
It's just two bald-headed goons just talking about nonsense a lot in a crowded podcast space. There's that one.
We're here.
Here we are.
Finally, baseball is back. Swing into the season with tickets to the action. Plus, with basketball and hockey heating up, now is a great time to experience a game. Vivid Seats is proud to be the official ticketing partner of ESPN. From on the glass to in the stands, Vivid Seats has great ticket prices to all the games. Every crack of the bat, every dribble down the court. Catch it all with Vivid Seats. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live.
This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Kevin Richard with you inside our Granger Studios. That'll do it for us on the AutoZone Halftime Report. Here we are, Game 4. The more desperate team in the NBA usually wins, and that's the Sixers, trying to avoid a 3-1 hole, 59-50. We go back to our broadcast team, Mark Testashire and PJ Carlissimo at Wells Fargo Center. Guys, I'm sure there's two ways you can look at it. If you're Philadelphia, we're up 9 and we are in control of this game. If you're Boston, you're happy you're only down 9. Back to you.
Kev, you are, and Jason Tatum finally got a field goal in the last minute. Al Horford finally got a field goal in the last minute. So I think if you're Joe Mazzulla. You could sell that to your team. And Doc Rivers, look, they were up 16 at one point, and here it is, a 9-point game going to the third, a game they virtually have to have.
Because they were up 16 late. They were up 16 with 1:19 to go. Those 2 fast break opportunities really hurt. Tobias didn't finish one, and Melton missed just a breakaway layup. And I agree with K-Dub, which is unusual in itself, but Philly should be up more. They outplayed him. And those 2 baskets, I know as crazy as it sounds, Jason Tatum was 0 for 8. Al Horford was 0 for 5. They both scored in the last 29 seconds. I'm not saying they were celebrating going into the locker room, but they were feeling a heck of a lot better than they felt with 30 seconds left on the clock.
Well, this has felt like a very even series. The 2 seed, the 3 seed, and with all the high seeds left in the NBA postseason, this could be a conference finals matchup. They met 4 times in the regular year. All 4 games were decided by single digits. First game of this series was a 4-point game. Then Boston with the big blowout, the 12-point win. This is the biggest lead at halftime for either team all year long, regular season or postseason, with the 76ers leading by 9. Here's the third quarter is about to get underway.
Yeah, Kesty, everybody keeps saying about Boston. You know, if Boston wins, they have home court the rest of the way. If Philly wins, they have home court the rest of the way also. So, you know, whoever wins this series knows that the game 7s going forward are in their own building. That is really another enormous plus to play for.
Top 3 in the East had the top 3 records in the regular season. Denver was right behind Philadelphia. Denver, the best record in the West. Boston will bring it up from left to right. Third quarter underway here at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. The Celtics were down 16 late in the half, down 9 to open the third quarter.
Watch Jason Tatum this quarter.
Brown to Tatum on the left. Tucker gets out of them quickly, spins by him, extends the left arm on the drive and lays it in to open the third.
No question, Joe Mazzulla wants to get him going. That's a good call. Like the many, many, many good calls Joe Mazzulla has made this year.
A rookie head coach at 34 years of age, the youngest in the NBA. Tucker on top for Philly. Their lead's down to 7. Over to Maxey on the left, beyond the stripe. Bounces to Embiid, head of the circle. Drives on Horford, lifts, fires, misses. Rebounded by Smart.
Kind of a one-legged shot going in. A good move that it went to Joel Embiid, but not the best shot selection by Joel.
Tatum against Harden, spins, takes it down the lane, pass to Horford, up top, Smart, lines up a 3, no good, missed it wide left, but Tatum's there, grabs it, reverses it in, and a 14-3 Boston run spanning the late second and early third quarters.
Well, it's an offensive rebound, but it was such a bad shot, it just fell into Jason Tatum's hands. It never touched the rim.
Philly's lead is just 5. Early stages, third. Embiid had it slapped away, got it back. Horford got a hand on it. Harden now has it out on the perimeter against Smart. Harden cross to the right, step back 3, on its way, good. 24 for Harden after 21 in the first half.
I don't know if you can hear that collective sigh from 20,000 people when that shot went in.
Here's Brown getting deep by Harden and scores. Jaylen Brown with 18 points.
Joe Mazzulla's got both hands up in the air saying, that was a foul, didn't it? There's 3 of you out there. Nobody blew the whistle.
Yeah, Harden was trailing tight behind. No whistle. 62-56. Philly's lead is 6. 2 minutes into the third quarter. Maxey, a little slow starter. Drives and kicks. Tucker left corner 3 is good. P.J. Tucker just celebrated a birthday last week in his home office out of the corner.
Pair of 3s for the Sixers. 3 layups so far for Boston.
Tucker, 38 years of age. 9-point lead Philly. Derek White at the top, ball faking a drive on Harris, floats it from 8 and gets it to fall.
It's the longest shot the Celtics have made so far. Doc Rivers cannot be healthy. They've not taken a shot outside of 8 feet.
Not happy and not healthy. Here's Embiid driving and kicking to Tucker in the corner, flips it to Harden on the angle left. Back to Embiid, baseline left, facing up Horford, drives, 2 big steps, now fades and hits the short J. Joel Embiid over 20 points. He's got 21 and 12 rebounds here in Game 4.
Really important for Philadelphia to get Joel Embiid established early in the second half.
Marcus Smart with the Kelly Green hair, dribbling out to the left. Give it up to Jaylen Brown on top. Under 9 minutes to go in the third. Pass to the corner, tipped out of bounds by Harden.
That zone again. It looks like a zone to me, Kesty. You got Tobias up high. with Maxey, James Harden in the corner. It's like a 2-3 matchup.
Yeah. It'll be Tatum to inbound, sideline right. Harden defending, long inbound pass to half court to Smart. 9 to shoot. Marcus, no look to Horford underneath. Outside White for 3, missed it. Rebound, Harden with the seal of Tatum, and the ball ends up in the hands of Maxey.
Is that what you call it when you push with both hands a guy out of bounds?
When the whistle doesn't blow. When the whistle doesn't blow. Here's Harden, who got away with a couple of fouls here in the third around the Embiid screen. Drives down the right post, stops, darts back. Brown gets on him defensively. 7 to shoot. Can't get by Brown. Harden keeps the dribble to the left hand. Pushed off. Now gets an open look at a 3. Missed it. Rebound tip. Horford couldn't control. Harris got it. Cognic for the slam dunk, and Smart looked like he got a piece of ball, but a foul and a whistle against Marcus Smart.
Boy, that was a late whistle. Tobias Harris looked like he was going to dunk it, and Marcus Smart jumped up. He's asking for a review.
We're going to look at the ESPN replay. Harris went on the baseline drive, maybe got a piece of the body of Harris as he went up to defend.
Joe Mazzulla, very timely manner, walked away from Marcus so he wouldn't see it.
As Harris shoots free throws, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo with you from Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. John Medani, our producer. Paul Schrager, our engineer. Kevin Winter holding things down back in studio control. And Tobias Harris hit the first free throw, second one up, and it rattles home to put the Sixers up 11.
And that James Harden 3, when Boston came out with those 3 buckets in a row, was really big to settle things down.
Derek White floater off the mark, rebounded by Philly.
I think the zone has stymied him, but changing the defense has made a difference because they came out playing very poorly on the defensive end, the 76ers.
Harden using an Embiid half-court screen to get free from Marcus Smart. Now Horford defending Harden, who drives, stutter step, free throw line fade is good. 26 for James Harden, and just like that, Philly's back up 13.
Game 1, Harden, he's here today.
7:45 to go in the third. Marcus Smart from the left wing against Tyrese Maxey. Gives it up to Horford just inside the perimeter. Back out to Smart. Now to Horford on the left. Quick trigger 3. It's good for Al Horford from deep.
Missed his first 5, but he's made his last 2, and they were both 3-point shots.
Horford was 44% in the NBA three-point shooting regular year, second of all three-point shooters. He draws Boston within 10. Here's a lob pass for Embiid, quickly doubled on the block. Slings it out to the corner. Tucker on the right. Now into the hands of Harden with 10 to shoot. Smart gets up on Harden, slaps a left hand at him. Harden between the legs dribble, gets an Embiid screen. Now goes behind the back to Embiid, and he knocks down a 15-footer from the right wing.
MVP to MVP. That's a pretty good duo.
There's Derek White, a 3, no good. Rebounded by Harden with 6:50 to go here in the third. 73-61 Philly. Harden pulls up for 3 and connects. 29 points for James Harden, the 2018 MVP. Timeout called by Boston as Harden has hit that hot tub time machine once again.
Might not have looked like much. P.J. Tucker made a great read. He came up and set a little flare screen, and all Harden had to do was dribble right off him and take that wide open 3.
Harden egging on the crowd to get loud, too, as we go to timeout here in Philly with 6:47 to play. Third quarter, game 4, Sixers 76 and Boston 61. You're listening to the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Bundling and saving with Geico is an easy choice, so you're free to ponder life's big questions, like what's the best animal in the world if not humans? I'd strongly consider ducks to be somewhere up there on the list. Think about it. Ducks can swim, ducks can fly, and ducks can walk on land. They have access to all terrains. They are the ultimate animal. And they wiggle their butts when they walk, which is funny. Yeah, ducks are awesome. End of story. Bundling and saving with Geico. It's an easy choice.
Hey, I'm Rodeo Clown JJ Harrison. Now, if you've ever seen me in the arena, you know I like to have fun, take chances. But I also take safety very seriously because rodeo clowning can be dangerous, but so can farming and ranching. Never assume location of depth of underground utilities or pipelines. Before you start work, always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com. It only takes a minute and it can save your life.
Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety campaign.
This is Greeny.
We were staying in the same hotel as the prospects. That has never happened before. So I sit down at this table. I've got my breakfast buffet, and these people are sitting next to me, and they recognize me, from the TV. And I say, "Oh, what brought you down here?" And they say, "Oh, we're C.J. Stroud's uncle and aunt." I'm sitting next to them, and then I realized everyone there is related to someone.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app.
Coming up Monday, we'll recap all the NBA action from the weekend. Plus, has the favorite for the title changed? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Monday morning, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Monday on Canty and Carlin, can the Lakers take control against Golden State, or are the Warriors about to even things up? Plus, the Knicks in big trouble against Miami. It's Monday, Canty and Carlin, 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Basketball champion Stephen Curry and soccer superstar Alex Morgan want you to join the PGA Junior League team.
PGA Junior League is a fun team golf experience for kids that the entire family can enjoy.
Boys and girls learn the game from PGA and LPGA professionals and have a great time with friends.
Find your team and get ready for a fun and exciting PGA Junior League season.
I want to see you out playing in your jersey and having fun. Visit PGAJuniorLeague.com.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman.
Frank in Florida has some.
Hey, Frank, what's up? How you doing?
This is the best show bar none on the radio. Thank you so much for everything you do. He is the best. Jay, Will, and Max, I'm telling you, y'all got the best show. Thank you so much. I travel every week, and I listen to you. I watch you in the hotels. The best show bar none.
Key, Jay, and Max. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Kevin Winter Insider, Granger Studio. Reminder, Suns Nuggets game number 4. Denver leads 2-1. They'll tip in the Valley beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Philadelphia on a 17-7 run has opened up a 76-61 lead over the Boston Celtics. James Harden, 29 points on 11 of 15 shooting, including 5 of 6 from deep. PJ Carlissimo, you said it to me yesterday regarding Anthony Davis. You don't need to be great in all 7 games. You got to be great in 4. Well, Harden's been great in 1.5 so far, and the Sixers look like they're winning both of those. Back to you and Mark Tester.
PJ, that's been the story so far. And the Celtics had a nice little spurt here to start the third quarter, but that Harden 3 was a huge silencer.
Well, if you're trying to figure out this series or LA Golden State, you got no chance because there has been zero continuity from one game to the other. One team drills another, the other team turns around. It's been very, very strange. Now, again, long way to go, more than almost 19 minutes left in this one. But if Philly's able to level this up, good luck trying to figure out any pattern in the series.
Grant Williams is in for Derek White for Boston, attacking the basket to our right.
Still zone.
Jason Tatum against that zone. Drives past Harris into the teeth of it. Great pass down low to Grant Williams for the easy bucket. Grant
may have gotten away with staying in that lane a little bit long, but a really good look by Tatum.
76-63. Phillies lead at 13. 6:15 and counting, third quarter. Sixers looking to tie the series at 2. Embiid on the perimeter, behind the back to Maxey. Thought about a 3. Goes back to Embiid with 6 to shoot. Twitches, moves against Marcus Smart, rises up on the rip-through. Shot no good. Got right into the body of Marcus Smart that time. And the foul on Smart's going to be his third.
Grant Williams started the possession out on Embiid, and he was bumping him. When we talked to Joe Mazzulla earlier today, he must have used the word physical 3 times describing Grant Williams, and he's right. And Grant's got that cut across the bridge of his nose. Stopped down to talk to him courtside before the game, and he took a shot
I can't believe he survived that. Joel Embiid at 300 pounds
came
right
right
on top
back
of his
in.
head. Remarkable. He's a tough competitor from the University of Tennessee as Grant Williams. As Embiid hits the first of two. Anthony Melton will be in for the Sixers. Tobias Harris headed to the bench as Marcus Smart goes to the Boston bench. Malcolm Brogdon is a big spark plug in the second, now back on the floor.
How about those two? They combined for 21 second quarter points, Malcolm Brogdon and Marcus Smart for the Celtics.
Embiid hits the free throws. His parents, both from Cameroon, have to be so proud, sitting in the front row of the baseline at the free throws he just shot. 78-63, Philadelphia. 5:50 to go in the third. Jason Tatum, who missed his first 8 shots, on top against Melton. Dribbling, stops, hesitates, drives, extends the right arm and lays it in. Wow, through contact.
He's upset he didn't get the call, but Jason Tatum is back engaged.
4 for 4 after the 0 for 8.
Yeah, that's good news if you're a Celtic fan.
Celtics still down 13. Harden going to set it up. He's going to back Joel Embiid to the corner. He wants that middle clear. Harden against Grant Williams. Drives, gets by him, fakes the pass, now sends it to the opposite corner. Up top it goes. Maxey buries the three. Harden was looking left. Pass to the right corner, and the extra pass found Maxey for the triple.
Beautiful ball movement by the Sixers.
Jaylen Brown crossover on Tucker. Flips it up, flips it in. 81-67. Celtics still down 14.
Well, the difference, though, is the Celtics are getting layups and the Sixers are making threes. They've got 4 already this quarter, but Doc can't be happy. They don't want to be trading offensive possessions. He'd like to see some stops in front of his bench.
Jaylen Brown now 7 straight games with at least 20 points in the postseason. 4:45 to go in the third. Embiid against Grant Williams. Bumps into the smaller Williams. Initially no whistle. Both went careening, and then a foul call from John Goebel that'll go against Grant Williams. That was a huge collision between those two.
Grant Williams is saying, boy, if I'm the one fouling, how come I'm the one getting hurt in all these collisions? Joel knocked him literally out of bounds. He hit him by the dotted line, and Grant Williams ended up by Philadelphia on the baseline outside the end line.
What helps Embiid is, he hits the deck countless times every game. So initiated the contact, went down and got the call. And now he'll go right back to the free throw line where he's 7 for 9 this afternoon.
Grant Williams is, I don't want to say screaming, but James Williams is the slot official. So he's on the opposite side from where Grant Williams is along the lane. And while Joel Embiid's getting ready to shoot it, Grant Williams is chirping at him. Now Joel's saying something to James Williams too, like, can you make him stop talking when I'm shooting a free throw, please?
26 points, 12 rebounds for Joel Embiid, the NBA's MVP after finishing runner-up each of the previous 2 years. Embiid with 27 points as he hits both free throws, restoring a 16-point lead, the largest for the Sixers. Jaylen Brown, 20 points working over to Brogdon. Catch and shoot 3. Straight down for Malcolm Brogdon, who gets the triple.
This continues. We're going to look at 2 pretty good field goal percentages for these teams at the end of this quarter.
Philly shooting at 51% right now as Maxey finds a spot, pulls on a 3, missed it. Ball caromed off the rim and over the backboard, out of bounds to Boston as George Niang will come off the Philadelphia bench for P.J. Tucker.
George Niang played well. He's been giving Doc good minutes. I don't think they like Tyrese Maxey dribbling into his threes as much as they like the one that occurred the last time where there was 3 quick passes all the way around the perimeter to Max with his feet set.
Well, it's been a struggle for Maxey this afternoon. Here's Tatum spinning, finds an open Robert Williams through contact, can't convert, he gets fouled. Shot no good. 2 free throws coming for the Time Lord at 4:03 to go here in the third.
I'm going to do some math, Kesty. That's never a good thing, but it seems to me the teams are making shots. Boston was 18 for 47 at the half. Right now they're 27, so they're 9 for 13.
Yeah.
That's way too good. If you're Doc Rivers, you're upset. Guys, we're just letting them score, or they're scoring at way too good a rate. Fortunately, there's a missed free throw there for the Time Lord. Fortunately for the Sixers, they're making their threes.
Both coaches have to be upset with their defense.
Yeah,
I'm sure Joe Mazzulla feels let down after the way they performed the last 2 games. Oh, the missed free throw means we could have a brick and chicken.
Brick and chicken.
And the 20,000 plus want free chicken from Chick-fil-A. They need one more Robert Williams miss to get it. Who's hungry on a Sunday? We'll let the crowd tell the story. And the ironic part is you can't get it today, right? You got to wait till tomorrow.
Today, 7 for 11, by the way, the Sixers this quarter. So both teams on fire. No breaking chicken because the Time Lord converts the second one.
No chicken for you. 83-71, Philadelphia still up a dozen. Here's Embiid against Robert Williams. A lot of contact. Ooh, a 360 spin at a shot. He missed it. Rebounded by Tatum.
Not a good shot.
Boston trying to get a little closer. Down 12. Tatum fires to the corner. Brogdon. He's got James Harden defending. Takes him into the lane. Bounces it for the baseline cutting Robert Williams. Outside Grant Williams. He'll drive on Niang. Lost the handle. Got it back. Now it's loose. Dives on the floor. Has it. And James Harden dives on top of him. 2.8 on the shot clock and a jump ball coming between Grant Williams and James Harden.
I thought it was good defense by George Niang. Grant Williams is in. Get him in his Petritus's mug, telling him he didn't think it was a good defensive play.
Now he goes over to talk to the crew chief, John Goebel.
If the Celtics control this tap, they've got 2.8 to shoot it. 2.8 seconds, I should say.
3:29 on the big clock. Third quarter, down 12 of the Celtics. Tap controlled by Philly. They'll get a fresh 24.
I'm telling you, George Niang's really giving him good minutes.
Ahead to Maxey, darting to the basket, blocked by Robert Williams.
Max, hustle back, man.
Here's Grant Williams in the front court for Boston to Brogdon. Left side Tatum cuts toward the basket, gets by Harden, switches hands and puts it off the glass and in.
Another layup. Not converted by the Sixers, Kesty. Remember the two in the first half? Maxey thought he was by himself. That's a LeBron James rundown block by Robert Williams III. Big play.
7-0 run for Boston, and Jason Tatum, who opened this game for 0 for 8, has made his last 5 field goals. Celtics down 10. Philadelphia 83, Boston 73 with 3:07 to go in quarter number 3. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
When Shopify says you can sell anywhere, oh, they mean it. Woo, hold up. Just got a new sale. Order fulfilled and shipped. Inventory levels good. Whoa, Shopify doesn't mind if you're at sea level or on top of the world. You can run and grow your business anywhere. Climbing mountains is never easy, but at least Shopify gives me all the tools I need for my business to hit new peaks.
Whether you're selling carabiners or crop tops, start selling with Shopify today and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of businesses worldwide. We've built the platform so you can keep climbing and grow your business to new heights.
With Shopify, you really can sell to anyone from anywhere.
This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Start selling online today. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/play. 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 Internet connection required. Not available on mountaintops or seafloors.
Kevin Richard with you inside our Granger studio. We are sitting in the third quarter, 3:07 to go. It is a 10-point Philadelphia lead, 83-73 here in a game 4, in a game that they must have to make this a 2-2 series, or else you go back to Boston with an opportunity and have your season on the line. And Mark Kestis, your PJ Carlissimo, so go back to you at Wells Fargo Center. I feel like I'm watching a repeat of Friday, just in reverse. Every time Philadelphia looks like they've had control, Boston's trying to make a little run. How close can they get, though? Back to you guys.
That's a great point. They're making shots. That's been the key for Philly, right? 4 for 6 from three-point land amidst. What's Boston shooting in the third?
How about 10 for 14, 71%. 2 for 5 is not bad for 3. Fortunately for Doc Rivers' group, that 4 for 6 you referenced, Kesty, were not for those threes. And the one that really stopped the run early, K-Dub's talking about, that James Harden 3, when Boston came out of the locker room cooking, especially Jason Tatum, and all of a sudden they're running points. Fortunately, James Harden, who's having a great afternoon, stopped the bleeding for a while.
Sixers 10-point lead and possession. We just went under 3 minutes to go in the third. Harden got poked in the eye as Brogdon defending, and a foul is going to be called on Malcolm Brogdon. Took 2 steps and made a beeline for the official John Goebel to protest.
It's 4 Celtic fouls, if I'm reading that scoreboard correctly.
That is correct.
Philadelphia only 1 team foul so far. I tell you who's got to get going, in my opinion, Tyrese Maxey. He's got to give him more than he's giving him right now.
Been a struggle. 13 points in each of the last 2 games. 10 points so far today. Philly gets
4
it.
for 12 shooting.
Yeah, they've been poor shooting games, too. Embiid going to make a run at Robert Williams. Wards him off with the right hand. Got him off his feet and got the foul. That is a veteran move right there by Joel Embiid.
Not only did he get him off his feet, Joel knew Time Lord was going to come down on him, so he turned his head. He was actually looking in our direction when he shot the ball. He had no chance of going in, but he wanted to get his face out of the way of Robert Williams coming down on him.
Embiid will walk to the free throw line at 2:41 to go in the third. 27 points, 12 rebounds, 9 for 11 at the free throw line so far today in game 4. First one rattles out, no good.
I'm going to say Joel leads the NBA in made free throws and is second in free throw attempts to Giannis Antetokounmpo in the regular season.
One more coming for Embiid in his 7th season out of Kansas and from the African nation of Cameroon. The MVP splitting the pair.
Beautiful ceremony here the other day. And Luc Bahamute, who really gets credit for discovering, if you will, Joel Embiid.
It's a great story for a guy who didn't play basketball until he was 15 years of age. One and done in Kansas. All the injuries to start his pro career, and now the most valuable player. Brogdon receives the pass. Free throw line jumper, no. Rebounded by DeAnthony Melton. Philadelphia up 11 with 2:20 to go in the third.
Philly has got to be efficient this last almost 2.5 minutes.
Tatum nearly got a steal, deflected ball. George Niang, corner 3, it's good. Niang's triple with 2:10 to go in the third puts Philly up 14.
Excellent move by Doc Rivers, putting George Niang on the floor for more minutes. He deserves it, and he's really delivered.
Philadelphia delivering from three-point land here in the third quarter.
Zone again for Philly.
Marcus Smart hits the cutting Tatum. Extra pass down low to Robert Williams for the easy bucket. They diced and sliced the zone that time.
Jason Tatum, when he gets the ball going into the paint, you're in trouble because he obviously can finish, and he's a very unselfish passer.
87-75 Philadelphia. Here's Harris for 3, and he cans that one. Another triple for the Sixers.
Boston's getting layups. Sixers are getting threes.
6 for 8 3-pointers in the third quarter for Philadelphia. They lead by 15. 80 seconds to go in the third. Here's Smart dribbling free throw line out to the corner, wide open. Derek White and answers with a 3-pointer for the Celts.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're a Celtic fan, you're saying, man, we're scoring every time. Why are we not getting closer? Because this end in front, they're in zone now, too. It's like a 1-2-2 matchup for the Celtics.
Embiid will rise over the zone, miss a 15-footer, rebounded by Smart. Outlet Tatum, half court, under a minute to go in the third. Cross to the right, cross to the left, dribbling, straddling the three-point line, 15 seconds to shoot. And now a foul on the perimeter as Brogdon was trying to get free across the top. George Niang committed the foul. That's their first in the last 2 minutes.
I want to look this next time down the floor. That was either a 1-2-2 zone or Joel Embiid had the ball in the middle of the floor and both wings were just in on the elbow saying, if you're going to go to the rim, George, you got to go through, Joel, you got to go through 3 of us.
Boston inbound, left sideline into Robert Williams, quickly gets it in the hands of Tatum. Tatum dribbles down, gets fouled, puts it up and scores it off the glass. He was gliding down the right post, absorbed contact, and was able to square up enough to hit the square and put it in, and a chance for 3.
Well, if Boston is able to come all the way back in this game this afternoon, Doc Rivers is going to lament his team's defense in the third quarter.
Jason Tatum has had a tale of 2 games, 0 for 8 start, 6 for 6 of late, and a free throw to make it a 3-point play. Boston within 9.
And if I'm not mistaken, a couple assists also because he's got 4 for the game. He's done a good job when they do double him finding a teammate.
90-81 Philadelphia. Half a minute to go in the third quarter. Maxey stops the dribble up high, gives it to Harris with 8 to shoot. Tobias squares, shoots the 3, missed it short. Tatum taps the rebound to Malcolm Brogdon.
We have a problem now when James Harden is on the bench. They're not as effective offensively.
So they've played even here in the third quarter. Boston down 9 at half. They're down 9 now. Ripped through by Tatum, moved inside a half court, and Niang too close. Got called for the personal. That's 4 on George Niang, and both teams are in the penalty.
That one was a bad one because George committed. It was all the previous foul was only their second, but it was inside of 2 minutes. And there you go.
Jason Tatum, 11 of his 13 points in the third quarter, and make it 12 of 14 as he hits the first of 2. And Boston's now only down 8, leading the series 2-1 and lurking here late in the third period.
This last possession offensively for the Sixers is big. Ball better go to Joel Embiid. Their lead is shrunk to 7. No fouls to give for the Celtics. This last possession, I think, is an enormous possession for the Sixers.
With 10 seconds to go in the quarter, inside a half. Now it's 7, makes his move to the three-point line, and Robert Williams accelerates, puts it up, puts it in. Tyrese Maxey using his speed there with 1.9. 9-point game, Boston with 1.9. Robert Williams inbounds to Tatum. Tatum had a perfect shooting third, and he won't take a shot there. He took it late. He was 0 for 8 late second quarter, hit 6 in a row, but we got a 9-point game, Philly leading going to the fourth.
Big bucket by Maxey. He's flexing, walking around like doing that flex thing. Dan Burke, the assistant, is yelling at him, get in front of the other guy so they don't get a shot here in the last 1.9.
We head to the fourth quarter. The Sixers trying to knot the series at 2. They lead Boston 92-83. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
I just got back from the future.
Excuse me?
I saw a glowing light, and then I was whisked through a doorway to the future.
So what's up? Will we all be wearing spacesuits?
No, the future is about innovation, comfort, and confidence. Underwear and undershirts with 4-way stretch that adjust to you.
That sounds like a Tommy John store to me.
Could I walk into a Tommy John store today and get a shirt that stays tucked in, yet won't bunch up?
The patented Tommy John Stay Tucked undershirt?
Well, what about an untucked shirt that is a hidden sweat-wicking layer and also a t-shirt?
The Tommy John Modern Fit undershirt. I'm wearing one. Everything has their best you'll ever wear is free guarantee. It's why Tommy John doesn't have customers. They have fanatics.
Can I get this stuff anywhere they carry Tommy John?
Sure. Or visit TommyJohn.com/stream and get 20% off your first order, including undershirt packs. 20% off at TommyJohn.com/stream. See site for details.
Tommy John.
Finally, baseball is back. Swing into the season with tickets to the action. Plus, with basketball and hockey heating up, now is a great time to experience a game. Vivid Seats is proud to be the official ticketing partner of ESPN. From on the glass to in the stands, Vivid Seats has great ticket prices to all the games. Every crack of the bat, every dribble down the court. Catch it all with Vivid Seats. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live.
This week on Sunday Night Baseball.
Out of here. The wind didn't bother Freddie Freeman right there. He got all over it.
Heated National League West rivals go head-to-head in San Diego when Freddie Freeman and the Los Angeles Dodgers face Manny Machado and the Padres.
There it goes and gone. Home run, Manny Machado.
The Dodgers at the Padres on Sunday Night Baseball. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. You can also listen on the ESPN app.
Kevin Richard with you inside a Granger studio. Wash, rinse, repeat. Lead gets down. Lead goes back to 16 or double digits.
Harden pulls up for 3 and connects. 29 points for James Harden, the 2018 MVP. Timeout called by Boston as Harden has hit that hot tub time machine once again.
29 for Harden, 28 for Embiid. So the 16-point lead gets whittled back down to 9, and that's where we are as we make the turn to the fourth quarter. Back to Wells Fargo Center, Philly by 9, 92-83 with PJ Carlissimo. Here's Mark Kestisher.
All right, Kev, thanks a lot. Total reversal in paint points, but it was the three-point shooting for Philly that really kept us an even quarter.
Believe it or not, Kesty, it was 33-33 that quarter. But you talk about doing it differently. They both got 18 field goal attempts. The 6 threes the Sixers got, overcame the 3 from Boston, but how about points in the paint? 20-4 in favor of the C's. They're getting layups. Sixers are getting threes. That's a dangerous way to play. They need to get some stops if you're a Philadelphia 76er fan.
They'll start on offense. Harden now jumps it from 10, missed it short. A rebound to the free throw line to Malcolm Brogdon. It's a 9-point game at half. It's a 9-point game to the fourth. Smart before the shot as it rolls through. They'll wipe it out. There was a Philly foul on the floor. It's going to go against Philadelphia. 30 seconds into this fourth quarter. Tobias Harris picking up his third.
Unfortunately, Doc is starting to sound like me, Kesteve's voice. He's, I'm sure, tired of begging his guys, telling them, guys, if we can get some stops so we can level this series off.
Smart went inside to Jaylen Brown, who got knocked down, or Tobias Harris saying he might have slipped. He's looking at Doc Rivers, swirling his finger to say, why don't you take a look at a replay here?
No, Doc's saying, I'd like to have the review at the end of the game.
And
we lead by 9. Let's play some defense without fouling, guys. 2 quick fouls for the Sixers.
Saw a replay above and looked like at least a little shove with the right forearm by Harris, who has 4 fouls. Side out of bounds, Boston. Brogdon into Derek White. Dribbles across the top. Passes to Smart on the left wing. Smart against Tobias Harris. Takes him to the elbow. Now puts it on the deck. Spins into the lane. High arcing jumper miss. Robert Williams offensive rebound.
Hear the crowd's getting uneasy.
8 seconds to shoot. Jaylen Brown using a Time Lord screen and a Philly foul. Was that Melton trying to fight through that screen? And 11:08 to go here in the fourth quarter. And that's 3 quick team fouls against Philadelphia here in the fourth.
You take your pick. What's worse, 3 quick team fouls or the 11th offensive rebound that got him another possession here?
Well, you don't want to be putting Boston at the free throw line. I know Philly shoots them too, but Celtics only had 3 free throw misses in the whole postseason coming into the day. Here's Brown for 3. Missed it. High, long rebound. Tapped out to Marcus Smart. Fires it over to Brown on the left. Penetrates and kicks. Smart topside triple miss. Rebound. Paul Reed saves it. 2 good looks for Boston there.
12 offensive rebounds. Believe me, Philadelphia is living dangerously right now.
Harden, who's been so good for 3 quarters, probing, sending it out to Niang, and now back to Harden. 9 to shoot. James beyond the 3-point line. Paul Reed will set a screen. Uses it to get to the tip of the circle, to the free throw line. Pass to the rolling Reed. Covered by Williams. 1 to shoot. Has to flip it up. It never touched the rim. Initially, they were going to let play go, but now John Goebel puts his hand on his head. It's a shot clock violation. Everybody kind of paused after it missed. And Boston will have the ball at 3-quarter court. Tyrese Maxey jumped off the Philly bench, was hoping to get in, but I don't believe they're going to let him into the game.
No, in the backcourt, you have to be there before the play. They won't let you sub in when the ball's in the back, being inbounded in the backcourt.
Sixers 92, Boston 83, 90 seconds into the fourth.
I don't like the way it's going right now if you're a Sixer fan.
And neither do 20,000, who are largely quiet here inside of Wells Fargo Center. Jason Tatum at the top. Tatum dribbling just beyond the stripe. Pulls back, launches a 3, in and out. Rebound, Harden at the free throw line. Here comes Harden up the middle of the floor. Gets a Paul Reed screen, fires it left side Niang. Catch and shoot triple. Bounces off the backboard, missed badly. Down floor, Tatum to Derek White, who throws it through. And the Celtics are down 7, as close as they've been in a while. Doc Rivers bouncing off the bench for a timeout.
Yeah, again, the lead only went from 9 to 7, but it's the way it's going. They have a possession where they get 3 offensive rebounds. The Sixers have committed 3 personal fouls already. It's not that they've lost 2 points off the lead. It's the way they're playing on both ends. Struggling to get good shots and really struggling to get stops.
Timeout in South Philly with 9:55 to go in Game 4. Sixers 92, Boston 85, and you're listening to the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
Monday on Canty and Carlin, can the Lakers take control against Golden State, or are the Warriors about to even things up? Plus, the Knicks in big trouble against Miami. It's Monday, Canty and Carlin, 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The
The quest to crown a champion begins at the SEC softball tournament.
This is the best postseason conference tournament in the entire country. You're just not going to see better competition in this winner-go-home scenario.
The 2023 SEC softball tournament begins Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern on SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet.
Show them what I'm made of.
Coming up Monday, we'll recap all the NBA action from the weekend. Plus, has the favorite for the title changed? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Monday morning, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Bundling and saving with Geico is an easy choice, so you're free to ponder life's big questions, like what's the best animal in the world if not humans? I'd strongly consider ducks to be somewhere up there on the list. Think about it. Ducks can swim, ducks can fly, and ducks can walk on land. They have access to all terrains. They are the ultimate animal. And they wiggle their butts when they walk, which is funny. Yeah, ducks are awesome. End of story. Bundling and saving with Geico. It's an easy choice.
The Baseball Tonight podcast.
It's taken less time to land on Man on the Moon than to get a baseball, the central piece of equipment in the game that all the players and the hitters and the pitchers and the teams in Major League Baseball's front office can get behind. And it's mind-boggling to me, Tim, that we continue to have these conversations.
The Baseball Tonight podcast is on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
To inside our Granger studio here in the NBA on ESPN Radio. Reminder, tomorrow night we'll have the fourth and final game 4 here in round 2. It'll be the Lakers and the Warriors. Our coverage begins 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Lakers try to go up 3-1. Meanwhile, the Warriors look to even it up. Philly trying to even up this series as we go back to Wells Fargo Center with Marquez Teixeira, PJ Carlesimo. How's the pucker factor, guys?
You know what? They're trying to get the crowd going. They're asking them to wave their towels. There's a lot of loud music, but yeah, a pucker factor of close to 10 right now. Doc's going small out of this timeout.
Yeah, surprisingly, takes Paul Reed out. Maxine Melton, James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Tobias Harris. It's about as small as the Sixers can go.
Played 2 minutes, 5 seconds of the fourth quarter. Only one field goal made. That was the run out by Boston into the timeout. Philadelphia is 0 for 3 from the field here in the fourth as Harden crosses half court, gets to Maxey, running start down the lane, kicks it out to Harris, ball fake on the 3, drives. Did he lose it? It goes out of bounds to the right. He did. Nobody touched it. Harris lost it. Turnover, Philadelphia.
Doc is imploring get him in as Petritis, who's the slot official, but I agree with him. I think Tobias just lost it. Doc's seen enough. Look who's headed to the scorer's table.
Yeah, the MVP getting set to check in next dead ball.
Yeah, he would like to have given him a longer rest, but not with this lead evaporating.
Brogdon drives, can't convert. Ball out of bounds.
Call a foul.
Foul on Boston. Robert Williams, who was coming over to defend after Melton came up with it.
Oh, I thought it was going to be on Brogdon. He was laying out of bounds.
I thought so, too.
Either way, they get the ball, and here comes the MVP.
Joel Embiid checking in. Robert Williams picks up his second. Joe Mazzulla will play chess match and send in Al Horford with Embiid back on the floor.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's not riding a white horse, but they are all looking at him right now. Joel, get us home.
28 points, 12 rebounds for Embiid, who has 13, 30, and 10 postseason games in his career. He gets 2 more points. He'll tie the great Wilt Chamberlain franchise history with 14 of them. Embiid straddling the three-point line, 10 to shoot, 9 minutes to go. Jabs with a right foot, now accelerates on Horford, puts it up, won't fall. Tatum rebounds on the weak side.
Great look, just couldn't make the baby hook shot.
Tatum down the middle of the floor, was losing the handle, got fouled. He'll go to the free throw line as Tatum aggressively and with a lot more confidence on the drive with 8:57 to go in the game. That's going to be 4 fouls on DeAnthony Melton.
Excuse me, four also 14 fouls, more importantly.
4-1. 4 for Philly, just 1 for the Celtics.
Wow.
Next Philly foul will put them in the penalty the rest of the way, and Tatum misses the free throw. It's the first time the crowd has really had a chance to cheer here in the fourth quarter. In fact, that's going to ignite them as many get on their feet here at Wells Fargo Center.
Unbelievably, the Celtics are 9 for 14, make it 10 for 15, 67%. We're used to both of these teams making virtually every free throw so far in this series. Not this afternoon.
Tatum split the pair, no brick and chicken that time. 92-86, the lead is down to 6. Embiid, middle of the lane, passes out. Maxey for 3, front rims it, no, and a rebound by Robert Williams. And here come the Celtics, down 6, 8.5 minutes to go, and leading the second round series 2-1.
I thought DeAnthony Melton had a better shot than Maxey that time.
Tatum backs down Harden, layup too strong, ball tipped in the air, still loose. Harden comes up with it. Harden bumps into Tatum, who goes down, and a block foul is going to be called on Jason Tatum.
They may review this one, Pesty.
Tatum saw Harden in the backcourt, 90 feet away from the basket, got him tight defensively. We're going to get a look at the replay now. It was initiated, I thought, by the left shoulder of Harden.
Nope, Joe looked over at his assistants. He's getting Marcus Smart into the game for the Time Lord.
It's bang, bang, PJ. Those are tough replays.
Yeah, that means
block charge.
No two bigs. You had two bigs on the floor for the Celtics for a short time. Now it's Al Horford's got the assignment to continue to guard Joel Embiid, because Embiid's going to have the ball in his hands.
He's got it right now outside the paint to the left against Horford. Dribbles him down to the low box. Here comes the double. Pass on top, Harden. Works it around to Melton up high. Shot clock at 7. Back to Harden on the Sixer logo with 4 against Tatum. Now puts it on the deck. Drives, floats. Good! James Harden with 31 points and a big bucket for the Sixers with 8 minutes to go.
He's always had a clock in his head. They talk about jockeys knowing what the time is with the Derby yesterday. James Harden knows that 24-second clock.
Marcus Smart driving right into the chest of George Niang and got the whistle. That's going to be 5 on Niang with 7:47 on the clock here in the fourth quarter.
And just like it was 4 on Melton and 14 fouls, it's now 5 on Niang and 5 team fouls. We're looking at, if you're a fan, they made their last one recently, Boeing. 7:47 left in this game, and they're in the bonus the rest of the way.
Says
the Boston Celtics.
From Seattle as Marcus Smart hits his first free throw of the afternoon. Been perfect in the series. Second one up and through, and the Celtics right back to within 6.
Well, I'll tell you what, Philadelphia is going to have to start A, playing defense, and B, playing defense without fouling.
94-88, Philly, 7.5 to go. Lob pass to Embiid outside the mid-post left against Horford. Now he's going to face up, ball on the left thigh, double comes, going to shoot over it, missed it short. Rebound Tatum, ball never left Embiid's hands. Here's Brogdon driving from the left, stripped by Harden. 2-on-2, Harden's going to peel off. Now he's going to bounce it to the rolling Embiid, to the cup and a bucket. 30 points for Embiid in game 4. And the Philadelphia 76ers have restored an 8-point lead.
Kesty, I'm going to go back to the running score and find out when he made that 3 that stopped the bleeding early third quarter. He just made a steal with 7:15 to go that was enormous for the Philadelphia 76ers.
2 big plays, and Embiid has one of those Wilt Chamberlain records that he has tied. 14 playoff games with 30 or more points, 10 or more rebounds, tying Wilt for the most in Sixers history. He's got a 30-10 going. Philadelphia 96, Boston 88, and with 7:15 to go in the fourth quarter. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indy.
You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
This is royalty. Do I bow? What does one do when the king comes to town? He chose us. And now I know what it's like to be the beautiful cheerleader. I've never been the beautiful cheerleader. I've never been the beautiful anything. The prettiest cheerleader is always the one who winds up with the quarterback, right? Especially when the quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know how to feel, but I'm going to have a really good time finding out.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app.
This is Buster Olney, host of the Baseball Tonight podcast, inviting you to join us. We go 3 days a week with great guests from players such as Mike Trout and Carlos Correa, managers like Dusty Baker and Dave Roberts, general managers like Brian Cashman and Alex Anthopoulos. and our regulars, Tim Kirkchin, Sarah Langs, Jeff Pass, and Carl Ravitch. Baseball is a great fistful of humanity, and we go big game fishing every day. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Yo, check this out from Canty and Carlin.
If we're going to start talking about a 5th championship for Steph Curry with everything that he has accomplished in his career, and I don't think we're close to the end of the road here, we're completely changing the dynamic of what his spot is in the history of the game, and the fact that the Golden State Warriors are not that old. They just continue to get it done. He was on the outside looking in. He's not anymore when it comes to being a top 5 player of all time.
Canty and Carlin, weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Welcome back to the Munich Heim Show featuring Lenny. The only NFL podcast of one of the host's favorite GMs is Duke Tobin, because he's a dog's name. That's Lenny. That horrified laugh? Delighted laugh?
Yeah, I didn't know where you're going with it. That's all. I was like, favorite GM, this is going to be good.
The dream team is back. Dominique Foxworth, very low on the screen, but high in my estimation. It's so good to have you back on the show.
It's so good to be back. It was such a regular part of my life at one point. I miss you, and I miss your crazy listeners.
Let me throw a quick shout out to your podcast, you guys. If you aren't subscribing, the Dominique Foxworth Show. Excellent podcast. Right now, they're covering a lot of NBA stuff as well. So if you're interested in more than football, it's a good hang. But we're not interested in more than football. We only talk football on this show, sometimes TV. This is actually my first real opportunity to kind of take stock of the draft. I was on NFL Live on Monday, but we didn't get to really dig into everything. So I'm excited to do that with you. We're going to start off by picking a bunch of drafts that we loved. I wrote loved. I don't know. And then we're going to talk about drafts that left us asking questions, which is my way of copping out of picking losers. No, I actually,
Exactly.
it's a mixture of, I think, good and bad.
I didn't do that. I didn't pick losers. I gave you actual questions, and then I realized,
They're good questions.
She just didn't want to say winners and losers.
I didn't pick losers either. I just picked drafts that left me. Well, I think one of yours could be criticized. The draft could be criticized, at least one. So yeah, we're gonna. They're good, and spoiler, one of them is the Ravens too, which we haven't got a chance to talk about the Lamar extension, and I think their draft's really interesting, and so I really like that one.
Kevin Winter with you inside our Granger studio. I want to thank all of you who logged on to our Twitter account to vote in the AutoZone in the Zone poll question. 53% of you said Joel Embiid would be the player to get in the zone today, but you may have to look for James Harden. Twice in this second half, Boston has got the lead down to 6, or the deficit rather, down to 6 or less. 6 here in the fourth and 5 in the third, and yet it's been Harden to make the play as we go back to Mark Kessler and PJ Carlissimo.
Yeah, Kev, big 3 early third, the big steal there. Neither team is shooting well here in this fourth quarter, PJ.
No, they're not. That's good news for Philadelphia. The bad news is they're in the bonus already. They got to defend without fouling, but Celtics only 1 for 7 so far in the fourth quarter. Philly not much better, 2 for 8, but I'll tell you what, huge answer. Harden with the steal and the assist for his teammate, the MVP, Joel Embiid.
Boston down A will race it into the front court, left to right. Ball in the hands of Jason Tatum on the 6 of the 76ers logo near midcourt. Now to Jaylen Brown against Harden. Crossover to the left, drives into Embiid, kicks in the corner. Smart catch and shoot. 3 is good. Big hit for Marcus Smart with 6:55 to go. Celtics down 5.
Jaylen Brown penetration opened it up. They helped, and he left Smart open in the left corner in front of the Celtic bench.
Game 4 very much hangs in the balance. Sixers trail 2-1. Lost game 3 on their home floor Friday night. Clinging to a 5-point lead at home today. Here's Harden to the right, 3 to shoot. Harden has it poked away by Brogdon on the floor. There's a tied possession right as the shot clock horn expired, and they're going to call it a shot clock violation. Good defense again by the Celts.
Very good defense by the Celts. It was not a good possession. James Harden just dribbled around. I did think they got a bad clock at the end. There should have been at least a second and a jump ball out of there. They let it run.
Here's Boston in possession. Tatum with the Celtics down 5, about as close as they've been since the early stages of the second half. Tatum to Brown, catch and shoot three, goes straight down. Jaylen Brown has Boston within two, and a minority of Celtics fans in the crowd making themselves heard right now in South Philly.
There's not a lot of green. There's a lot of blue and red.
96-94. The Sixers led by as many as 16. It's down to 2. Tyrese Maxey with 6 minutes to go. Lobs it to Embiid. Outside the mid-post left. One bounce and a cross-court pass. Melton on the drive. Melton pass to Maxey. One to shoot. Maxey's got a lift. Does. Fires. Missed the shot. Tatum the rebound. Boston a chance to tie, but the outlet too far for Brogdon. Turnover Boston.
Another steal for Harden.
Into the corner, Niang for three. Might have got it blocked by Tatum.
I think Tatum got a piece of it.
Boston coming the other way, down 2. Here's the backdoor pass and a tying reverse layup by Jason Tatum. Boston has come all the way back on the road, down 16. Tie game with 5:25 to play.
Doc's talking to Tyrese Maxey. He's got to get his head up. Anthony Melton doesn't look like he wants to shoot the ball, Kesty. I don't want to jump on him. They have a lot bigger problems than that, but he's been making that extra pass, and a couple times he's left a teammate with like 2 or 1 second to go on the clock. That's difficult when you do that.
How about Jason Tatum? Started game 4, 0 for 8. He is 7 for his last 9, and the biggest block of the game just got a fingertip on that Niang triple try out of the corner. 18 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists for Tatum after a brutal start.
We said that bucket he got in the last 29 seconds of the first half might get him going, and it certainly did.
Let's get to our attendance tracker. Today's attendance here in Philadelphia, 21,264, brought to you by Vivid Seats, where you earn rewards with every purchase. Vivid Seats Rewards is your ticket to more tickets. Vivid Seats, life happens live. A 21-6 run, 8 straight points by Boston, 96 all, 5:25 to go. And the Celtics now with a chance, if they can get a win, to go up 3-1 headed home. Where does Philly have to go here after things are starting to come apart?
There's no question. It's got to be Harden and Embiid. I'll tell you what, when the game had started, I think if you told Doc Rivers, we'll let you be tied with 5:20 to go, he probably would have taken it, but not when they led from virtually this entire game.
James Harden from right to left into the front court. Boston has outscored Philly 13-4 to start the fourth quarter. Embiid near the free throw line, drives on Horford, gets deep off the glass. No, as Horford defends him well, and Boston a chance for the lead.
Steve, if we go back and think about second half, his first game back, Joel Embiid, fourth quarter, game 3, fatigue may be a problem for Joel.
Jaylen Brown, topside 3 for the lead, off the front rim, bounces twice, won't go. Embiid can't get the rebound, but Harden grabs it. Down floor in a tied game with 4:40 to go. Harden will direct the offense. Brogdon defending. Things getting very tense in South Philly.
The only bucket Embiid has is that layup after the Harden steal.
Here's Harden on the drive, cross to the right, and Brogdon again got a hand in and commits the foul.
Don't want to take anything away from the way the Celtics are playing, but if you think back, Embiid had that excellent first half in game 2, 3 very good quarters in game 3, and then I think fatigue in the fourth. And right now it's looking like fatigue again.
Off the inbound, Embiid has it on top. Tied game from the elbow. Pass to Maxey. Baseline drive, wraparound, blocked by Tatum. Another fourth quarter block for Jason Tatum. Tied at 96, Tatum front court, 4:10 to go. Back to the basket against the small and Melton. He'll back him down. He'll turn inside, finds an open Smart. Pass on top and around the horn to Brogdon. Malcolm, one-handed 15-footer, no. Tatum snags another rebound. He's been a man on a mission since the end of the first quarter. Here's Horford, slams it home on a drive right through the lane, and Boston has come all the way back to take the lead in Philly.
Jason Tatum, 4 block shots. You ready for this, Kesty? 18 rebounds.
First lead since the first quarter for Boston as Harden is fouled by Jaylen Brown from the perimeter with 3:38 to go. 2 free throws coming, but what a game for Jason Tatum. 18 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists, and those 4 block shots. 2 big ones here in the fourth. James Harden with this arena virtually quiet will shoot 2 big free throws, down 2.
Doc's going to experience. B.J. Tucker ready to check in, I would think, for DeAnthony Melton, but I don't know.
First free throw good for Harden. Melton out, Tucker in. That was only the 3rd free throw attempt for James Harden today, despite all his success, now 32 points.
Doc's gone back to the starters. Joel Embiid in the backcourt pulling on that brace. Kesty, he's tired. There's no way Doc's taking him out this last 3:38.
Harden hits both free throws. We're tied again, 98 all. 33 for Harden, 30 for Embiid. Exhausted, but getting ready on the defensive end. 3.5 minutes to go. Chant of defense here in Philly. Smart at the top. Passes to Tatum. On the three-point line. Turns on Maxey. Drives into Embiid. Flips it up and got the foul call against Embiid. Jason Tatum, aggressive here in the second half. Headed back to the free throw line. Embiid picks up his second foul.
Don't like
Crowd
that
didn't
call.
like it.
I don't like that call either. I think he's vertical.
I got to get a better look at it.
Yeah.
I thought when Embiid launched, he might have launched forward a little bit. Doc won't even look at the assistant coaches on a review. So Tatum will shoot a pair here. What a turnaround game for Tatum.
There was a lot of contact, no question about that. Tatum, believe it or not, misses the first. A lot of contact, but those verticality plays, it's often the offensive player jumping into the defensive player. Moot point now.
They're on their feet. They want chicken, but more impressively, they want Tatum to miss, and Tatum hits, splitting the pair. Boston leads 99-98. Our 7th lead change of Game 4. Sixers led by 16 at one point, 9 at half, 9 headed into the 4th. 3:10 to go as James Harden works the offense, and Embiid up high to set a screen. Harden against Horford. Bounces it to Embiid in the high post. 6 to shoot. Embiid against Horford. Twitches once, twitches twice. Shot blocked by Horford. Another Boston block. Here's Brown on the other end. Euros into the lane. Pass out to Smart. Squares for 3 and connects. Marcus Smart with a triple. 4-point Boston lead with 2:45 to go.
Joel Embiid reminded you of Harden in last game when he was hesitant to shoot the ball.
Here's Embiid on the 3-point line. To the tip of the circle against Horford. Bumps him off at the free throw line. Lost it momentarily. Philly needs to find some offense now. To Harden up top. 2 jabs to the left. Drives to the right. Pulls from 12 and connects. As Philadelphia is down 2, 102-100.
Joel Embiid just looks exhausted walking back on defense. I think it's going to fall more on James Harden these final 2 minutes. Both teams in the bonus the rest of the way.
102-100 Boston. Smart drives to the middle of the lane. Passes out to Brogdon. Gets off a 3 and connects. Malcolm Brogdon with a 3. Celtics are up 5. Doc Rivers calls for timeout. 2:03 to go in Game 4 as the Celtics bid to go up 3-1.
Doc Rivers cannot believe the way they were matched up, and it just led to a wide open shot, kind of barking at his team as they come into the huddle.
Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo with you here from Wells Fargo Center, and what a development in the 4th quarter. The 76ers have blown a 16-point lead. The quarter score is Boston 22, Philadelphia 8, and a lot of that has been the Celtic defense and not blocks at the rim, PJ. These are perimeter block shots we've seen here in the 4th quarter.
Jason Tatum made a couple of unbelievable shots. Joel Embiid couldn't make his mind up. He was on the right elbow. He had the shot when he first got the ball. He one-bounced it, couldn't get by Horford, and then he just shot it. Al Horford was right in his face. He just reached up with his hand and blocked the shot. It was almost an easy block, if you can call blocking a Joel Embiid shot easy. But Horford didn't have to move, and Joel, A, looks exhausted. B, probably more importantly, he looks very hesitant to shoot the ball.
Let's get an ID quickly for you. Pause 10 seconds. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indy. Alongside PJ Carlissimo, I'm Mark Kestisher. Game 4, their Eastern Conference semifinal. The Celtics have come all the way back and have the lead over the 76ers, 105-100. 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Harden across half court. Left-hand dribble picked up by Malcolm Brogdon, the NBA Sixth Man of the Year. Drives by him into the lane. Lefty layup. Good. 2 big points back for James Harden, who's got 35.
Good set there for the Sixers. They brought Embiid up high on the opposite side of the floor. Horford had to go with him, so there was no shot blocking presence to stop Harden.
Boston has 4 block shots here in the fourth quarter. Marcus Smart up high in a one-possession game. Celtics by 3. To Tatum on the right, he's doubled. Gets rid of it to Brogdon on the left. Now to Smart on the wing with 7 to shoot. Smart against Tucker. Dribbles in, dribbles out. Now launches the 3. No good, and Embiid secures the board.
Best defensive possession by the Sixers in a long time.
They get on their feet in Philly, down 3. Embiid free throw line to Harris, corner left. Drives back to Joel at the elbow. Swiping at it defensively is Horford. 1 dribble. Embiid turns, losing his balance to Harris with 6. Harris drives the elbow. Jumper never caught the rim. Tucker's right there to pick it up and get fouled and put it in, and a chance to tie the game at the line.
I thought Tobias should have burped the ball back to Joel Embiid. He took a tough shot. Who else would be there? The veteran that Doc put in the game when nothing else was going good. He just guarded Marcus Smart on the one end of the floor, forced a miss, and he got an offensive rebound on the offensive end. PJ Tucker.
Not been known for his offense in this postseason or this season, but that's what he does. He scraps, hits corner threes, and now a chance for an old-fashioned 3 to tie the game, and he converts. 105 all with 106 to go.
No fouls to give for either team. 2 timeouts for the Celtics, 1 for the Sixers.
Celtics lead the series 2-1. Game 5 in Boston coming up Tuesday night. Here's Tatum on the three-point line. Back to the basket. Shot clock dips under 10. Bodies falling. That was Smart, who got knocked down in the traffic. And I think they're going to get Tucker on that foul as he tried to fight through the screen. It is number 3 on Tucker. And again, teams are in the penalty. It'll put Smart at the line.
Doc's looking at his assistants. He tripped on PJ Tucker. I don't know. He clearly wouldn't have fallen if he didn't trip over PJ. They're not going to challenge.
Marcus Smart at the line, trying to untie the game. First free throw rattles home. 106-105 Celtics. 51 seconds to go.
Doc standing at half court. He's all over Gediminas Petraitis. He tripped over his foot. Probably was not worth the challenge.
Smart second free throw straight through that time. Marcus Smart, 18 points. Boston up 107-105. 49 seconds to go in game 4. Philly already down 2-1. Harden dribbling the ball between the rings. Jaylen Brown creeping up defensively. Bounce pass to Embiid, straddling the three-point line against Marcus Smart. Takes him into the lane, spins through a double, puts up a shot, no good. But Philly's got it with a fresh 14. It hit the rim. And a timeout. James Williams said, should the shot clock have been reset?
Should it have been reset? I'll tell you what, I like James Harden with the ball more than Joel Embiid right now. Joel Embiid's only bucket, Kesty, was that fast break bucket after the Harden steal where he had a layup.
Trigger on the floor is a rim hit.
So John Goebel, we're under 2 minutes, PJ. They can go to review here.
Whether it hit the rim and whether it should have been a reset. We need a replay.
It
Here we
hit the
go.
rim underneath. I'm watching the ESPN replay. Embiid put it up. I think that hit the rim on the way up from underneath.
Wow.
We will hear
Another
it.
block by Horford. Watch Al Horford get all ball on this.
That's going to be block number 5 for Horford and the 5th Celtic.
After review, the ball did hit the rim before we have a suspension of play.
So a fresh 14. Right now it's at 12. Philly ball.
This is the thing that sometimes you
does work
it's
against you,
important that they get it right, but this just gave Philly a free timeout. Biggest offensive possession of the game, and they don't have to burn a timeout.
Reminder, full NBA coverage tomorrow morning. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday morning, 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern, followed by Greeny with Mike Greenberg until noon on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo, our entire ESPN Radio crew in South Philadelphia. Boston 107, the Sixers 105, 28.4 on the clock. Shot clock stays at 12 as Philly will inbound with Tobias Harris, Sixer jersey number 12 on the far right side.
We're probably going to be, should they miss, we're probably going to be in a foul situation for Philly. Because this game clock's going to get under 24 right now.
Inbound to Harden. Shot clock already down to 5. Harden has Horford on him deep. Now Harden drives 3-point line, stops, goes into the lane, puts up a floater, and ties the game with 15 seconds to go.
39 enormous points for James Harden.
45 in game 1. Was absent games 2 and 3. And he's got 39 in game 4. But the shot clock is off, and the Celtics a chance to win it right here. Tied at 107.
No timeout. Joe Mazzulla seldom calls him at the end.
Smart gives it up to Tatum. Tatum with 3 to the baseline. Tatum passes out to Smart. This is for the win. A 3 comes up short, and we're going to overtime in Philadelphia. What a look for Marcus Smart, but couldn't convert from the left wing, and we'll put 5 more minutes up on the clock.
Couldn't come up with the stop for the longest time, but down 5, under 2 minutes left, the Sixers were able to get 3 big stops, and James Harden was able to deliver on the offensive end, and P.J. Tucker with an old-fashioned offensive rebound, 3-point play.
And they only scored 15 points in the entire fourth quarter. The Celtics outscored Philly 24-15 and had a chance for the win at the end to take a stranglehold on this series to go home up 3-1. Instead, we go to overtime here in game 4. And this overtime period is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Well, the big question for me, Kesty, is whether Joel Embiid, as exhausted as he obviously is, whether he'll be able to give him anything here in the fourth quarter, because really he just was not a factor for them. He had the ball. He certainly commands attention. I didn't see very many double teams there in the fourth quarter, but somebody other than James Harden has got to score the ball for the Sixers.
The minutes are staggering. Joel Embiid played north of 41 minutes. James Harden has played 42 minutes. Tobias Harris, he seems to have an unending amount of energy. He's played 40 minutes. Meanwhile, Tatum's logged 42, 19 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 blocked shots. 39 for Jaylen Brown, but the minutes are much lower as Joe Mazzulla was able to work his rotations to the point where they appear, at least on paper, to be a little fresher.
Yeah, Tobias Harris or Tyrese Maxey, I think one of them has got to give Doc something, or maybe he goes back to Niang. But Tobias is 3 for 10 for the game. Maxey's 5 for 16. It's the third straight game where he's really struggled, Kesty. There's so much attention being paid to Harden and Embiid. You would just think that one of these other Sixers have got to step up and make a shot for Doc Rivers' group.
Well, James Harden's been terrific tonight. 39 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. After scoring 45 in game 1, Harden made just 5 of 28 in games 2 and 3 combined. That's 18% today, 15 of 20. 5 for 6 on 3-point field goals.
How about 4 for 5 for 10 points and 2 free throws in the fourth quarter? Joel Embiid was 1 for 6 in the fourth quarter.
Al Horford had 3 of his 5 blocks in the fourth. Jason Tatum had 2 of his 4 block shots in the fourth quarter for the Boston Celtics.
5 blocks for the Celtics with the game on the line. 5 more minutes.
Here we go.
Either 2-all or 3-1.
It'll be Joel Embiid and Al Horford to jump at the center circle. Embiid says he's ready. John Goble sends the ball skyward, and Embiid wins the tip. Philly will come from right to left.
Joel got off his feet pretty good on that one.
Harden to Maxey, who's going to dart fast all the way to the lane. High off the glass and in. Like a 25-foot sprint by Tyrese Maxey to put Philadelphia in front.
I really think Maxey or Harris could help Philadelphia win this game.
Just underway in overtime. 2-point Philly lead. Tatum on the cross. Stops on a dime. Nearly lost the handle with the left hand against Harris. Crosses him to the right. Floats it from 10 and in for the tie. Showing the handles and the moves. Jason Tatum has 21 points. 21 points, 18 rebounds for Tatum. Would you believe he started 0 for 8?
How about 4 blocks also?
4 blocks. 109 all. Opening minute of overtime here in game 4. They're all standing in Philly. And now Harden trying to get a bounce pass to Embiid. We got a Boston foul on Malcolm Brogdon. He's had a tough afternoon on real close touch fouls here on the perimeter.
And don't forget, our listeners, it's 4 team fouls, put you in the bonus in overtime.
That is the 4th team foul on Malcolm or 4th personal foul on Malcolm Brogdon. 4 minutes to go in overtime, tied at 109. Here's Harden around the Embiid screen, lost his footing and got tripped as he hit the deck, and there's another foul.
Exactly what you just talked about with Brogdon. In fairness, that's the same kind of foul that occurred with P.J. Tucker and, was it Brogdon or Marcus Smart, where they got their legs tangled up and the referee made a call late in the 4th quarter.
So Brogdon with 5 fouls heads out just a minute 3 into overtime, replaced by Derek White. It'll be right side inbound for Philly into James Harden. 3:56 to go, tied at 109. Harden holding. Bounces to the right. Into traffic, stripped to the ball. Boston with another takeaway.
He went into 3 different Celtics.
White to Tatum, who was ready down court, but by the time he got there, the ball got to him. Tucker was there, and now a foul on the perimeter. Tucker getting too close to Tatum. Personal foul on P.J. Tucker.
Yeah, that was a tough play the last time for the Sixers because you had Embiid came over to set the screen for Harden, so you had the entire defense on that side of the floor, and James Harden tried to go through them all. It was nothing but white jerseys surrounding him.
Off the inbound, Boston has it. Smart driving by Harden. Got fouled and scores. He beat him off the dribble and got fouled from behind. Celtics take the lead, and Smart with a chance at a 3-point play.
Yeah, Horford was in the corner, so that meant Embiid was outplaying him. There was literally no help. Everybody else was above the free throw line.
Foul number 2 on Harden. Marcus Smart, 20 points. Heads to the free throw line. Hearing it from the crowd here in Philly. Free throw away and free throw good. 3-point Boston lead, 112 to 109.
Marcus Smart with 21 big points for the C's.
Tyrese Maxey met at half court by Smart, using Embiid as a shield, gets across. Here's Maxey dribbling to the right, flips it to Embiid, right of the circle. Now to Harden on the left with 8 to shoot. Harden beyond the stripe, sees the clock at 5, bounces it for Embiid at 3. Embiid tip of the circle, a step back 3 and a double team, missed it, tapped out, it's loose, and bodies flying, and Tobias Harris has it at half court.
Wow, big rebound right there. I don't know if they realize it's a short clock.
They have 6 seconds right now to shoot off the 14-second reset. Here's Harden, step back 3 from the right. Rolls off, no, tip loose, end line out of bounds. It goes to Philadelphia. They'll say Horford was last to touch across the end line.
That might be worth a review. I don't know if the assistants got a good look at it on the video right there. P.J. Tucker was in the middle.
So Mazzulla was looking to
They're going to
his
review.
players.
Didn't get there quick enough.
Nope, got it inbound to Embiid. Embiid facing up into the lane. They're going to double Embiid. Now single coverage. Horford spinning. Embiid firing, connecting. Philadelphia back within 1.
First bucket in a long time. You take away that layup in the 4th. It has been an eternity since Joel Embiid's been able to help Harden out.
He's got 32, does Embiid. Marcus Smart with it. Boston up 1, 2:20 to go in overtime here in game 4. Over to Tatum, rises for 3, missed it. A high rebound. White being held by Maxey. We got a loose ball foul, and it's going to be Maxey. I think he was trying to shield him off and then just
He had
grabbed
his
him.
back. He was face guarding, trying to box out, and he put his arms around him. Bad play.
First foul on Maxey. That's the 4th team foul, so Philly will be in the penalty on the next.
Trying to box out Derek White.
Marcus Smart takes the inbound. Boston up 1, tries to lead Horford down the lane. Can't. Harden comes up with another steal.
Unbelievable James Harden defensively.
There's Maxey into the front court, right side, down one of the Sixers. Gives to Embiid and back to Harden with 2 minutes to go in overtime. Harden using the screen. Harden feeding Embiid. Hesitation move, drives into traffic, puts it up, and 1.
They may challenge this. He called an offensive foul. James Williams called an offensive foul. Doc's going to challenge.
Offensive foul is the call against Embiid. Doc Rivers out to argue with James Williams.
I'll tell you what.
And the green light is on downstairs.
I did not see Marcus Smart move.
Challenging the offensive foul called on the floor.
We got to see a replay here, Kesty.
Get our look at the ESPN replay.
He moved. They're going to overturn it.
Yeah, I thought Smart was moving to his right.
I should say, I think. I don't want to confuse our listeners. I think they're going to overturn it. I thought he was moving a little bit to his right when the call was made.
Big call here with 1:49 to go in overtime. The call on the floor was offensive foul. The replay angles we saw looked like Smart moving up and to the right. And now in the hands of the folks in
also have his
Secaucus.
right heel. Look at, watch Marcus's right heel, Kesty.
We're getting a look at the replay on the screen above.
Can't see it from that one.
So the folks at the replay center in Secaucus.
That's the right heel.
Helping out John Goebel. I see that right heel. I can't tell definitively if it's in or out.
Got to see an overhead look. They're not giving us the overhead look.
On television they are, but we just missed
See
that
it?
one. No, I did not catch it. 112 to 111. Boston leading Philadelphia. 1:49 to go in overtime. And a big
Showing the
challenge
same
here.
replay. It's either a 1-point lead for Philadelphia and Embiid on the line, or 1-point lead for Boston and Boston ball with 1:49 remaining.
James Harden, 39 points to lead all scorers. Right now, Embiid sitting at 32, or does he have 34? We'll find out in a moment. For the Celtics, Jaylen Brown with 23 points, 21 each for Tatum and Smart.
They're taking their time. That means
This is
they
a
are
tough call.
really having trouble deciding. John Goebel's taking the headphones off.
And that's why you save your challenge, if
Without
this goes
question.
in
Without
Philadelphia's direction.
I think
Right.
we've missed the overhead look twice on the Philadelphia replay.
Officials have the headsets off, all three of them discussing now. Over the table across the way, John Goebel, James Williams, Gediminas
go.
Petritis, our officials.
No, he put the headphones back on.
Yep, had the discussion. We're going to check timing as well with all this. Here we go.
After review, the challenge is unsuccessful. Now court ruling stands.
So it will go as an offensive foul on Joel Embiid. With 1:49 to go in overtime, and Boston keeps its 1-point lead.
They got the review. It's all you can ask for. Took a little while for the decision, Sean, right in Secaucus in the replay center, and the three officials, and they thought, nope, stayed with the call.
One possession game. Boston has the lead, 112 to 111. Left to right into the front court. Jaylen Brown with 1:40 to go in overtime. Brown at the top against Harris. Crossover to the left. Stops at the free throw line. Wheels and passes out. 10 to shoot.
Good defense by Tobias.
Now Tatum has it on top. Tatum with 4 to shoot. Goes to his right. Passes off to Horford. Late block 3. In and out. It was halfway down. Harden has the rebound. Here comes Philly with 1:20 to go. Down 1. Tyrese Maxey raced into the front court. Now slows it up and gets it into the hands of James Harden.
The two-man play again.
Embiid setting a high screen. Harden drifting to the right. Finds Embiid. Drives. Nearly lost it. Now outside to Harden. He'll light up a 3. Missed it. Rebound Tatum. A hold from behind. And a whistle and a loose ball foul on Horford, who is holding up Joel Embiid. 1:02 to go in overtime, and both teams in the penalty.
It's a bonus. James Williams doesn't realize that unless the scoreboard's wrong, they got 4 fouls up on the scoreboard.
Right now, James Williams is ushering Maxey to inbound. They just put up team foul number 4.
Wow.
There's Harden off the inbound. Still down 1 is Philly to Embiid. There's a foul as he lets one fly toward the basket from 15 feet away, going down to the court, and Joel Embiid will go to the line with a chance to tie the game and potentially give Philadelphia the lead. 3 on Al Horford. Embiid bent over at the waist in his 46th minute.
Both hands on his knees.
32 points, 10 of 13 at the line, as Wells Fargo Center goes silent. First free throw. Good. Tied game at 112. One more coming for Embiid. This is only the 3rd time since Harden and Embiid have been together on the same team that they've both gone over 30 points, and the first time in postseason play. They've combined for 72 points, make it 73 as Embiid hits both free throws and the Sixers take the lead.
They tried to get Malcolm Brogdon in. He didn't get to the scorers table in time. 2 timeouts for Boston, 1 for Philadelphia.
113-112 Sixers, 45 seconds to go in overtime. Tatum, pass to White into the corner. Back up top, Tatum on the left. Bounces into Maxey, no whistle. Launches a 3 and connects with 37 seconds to go in overtime. Boston back in front.
Well, I thought he did get away with a push-off. Doc Rivers is livid, screaming at John Goble. I thought he pushed off.
11th lead changes. Harden drives, kicks to the corner, tapped out of bounds by Derek White on an intended pass to Maxey with 26 seconds to go in overtime.
Doc is with him right now, and he's right. Doc's pushing his right arm out. Well, right there. Boy, I'll tell you what. What'd you think, Kesty?
I thought it was a push-off by Tatum indeed. 115-113. The scoreboard was late getting to the 2-point edge. 26.4 to go on the Jason Tatum triple. Again, if you're just joining us, Tatum was 0 for 8 to start the game. That's his first 3 of the game, and he is 9 for 12 since missing his first 8. But there will be a lot of discussion on how he got open for the 3.
They've showed this replay 4 times on the Giants scoreboard. There's no question Jason Tatum pushes off.
That is the 200th three-pointer in the postseason career for Jason Tatum. There's only 2 other Celtics that have more. Paul Pierce, 219, number 1. Ray Allen, 206, number 2. Tatum's been playing a lot of playoff basketball since his rookie year and appears to have gotten away with one there on the go-ahead 3.
Wow. You know they're going to replay this 100 times. What they're also going to say is, guess what? He took an extra step also.
115-113. Boston leading Philadelphia. 26 seconds to go in overtime. Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo with you from Wells Fargo Center in Philly. Game 5 set for Tuesday night back at TD Garden in Boston.
No timeouts for the Sixers. They lost the 1 on the challenge, which I thought was an excellent challenge by Doc Rivers, and they just used their final one right now to set something up. 13 seconds on the shot clock. I'll tell you, they're inbounding the ball in the dead corner. Really hard to inbound it from this position, and they do not have a timeout. They got it into Embiid.
Looped it into Embiid in the high right post, banging against Tatum. Now double team comes back to Harden. Corner 3. It's good. James Harden gives Philly the lead. 42 for James Harden. 18 seconds to go in overtime. Has he come up big or what at the most important times in Game 4?
No timeout from Joe Mazzulla, as is his style.
Boston a chance to win it. They had a chance at the end of regulation. They're down 1. Tatum with 3 seconds. Tatum on the left. Tatum drives. Tatum pass to Smart. Gets off a shot for 3. Hits it at the horn. But did he get it off in time?
Doc Rivers is saying no way.
They're going to go to replay.
No, it's no good. I just watched the replay, Kesty. That's no good.
It looked to the naked eye that it was too late. The fans have seen it. They've decided that Game 4 goes to Philadelphia.
Check on the floor.
They will review the basket, but the fans are delirious with what they believe is a 116-115 Philadelphia win to even the series in 2.
Now the replay we're looking at, the ball's in Marcus Smart's hand, and the scoreboard, the backboard is lit up with the red LED.
After review, the basket's unsuccessful.
And the Philadelphia 76ers in overtime have beaten the Boston Celtics 116-115 in a classic 4th game of this second-round series.
Unbelievable win by the Sixers. They overcome a couple of tough calls down the stretch. And how about first game, James Harden, Kesty? Is that PJ?
We're going to get Tyrese Maxey, it appears. Right now he's celebrating with some of the Sixers faithful down there. 116-115. We got a brand new series, essentially a best of 3 now, with Game 5 set for Boston on Tuesday night. James Harden, 42 points, and the winning three-pointer late in overtime. How many big shots and big plays on both sides of the ball did James Harden make there?
How about the steals? The steals were just as important. And I'll tell you, the two plays he made, not even at the end, in the third quarter, when it looked like they were coming unraveled, he made a steal.
Tyrese Maxey now joining us courtside. Tyrese is Mark Kestisher and PJ Carlissimo. We're just waxing poetic about your teammate, James Harden. Tell us what you saw down there. He made some big plays throughout the second half and throughout the entire game.
Yeah, man, he was huge today, man. I told him, I texted him late last night. I thought I was watching the Lakers game. I told him to go out there and be aggressive, man. Be you, no matter what the circumstance is. Man, he worked his tail off, man. He worked his tail off this summer to get back into the guy he is. And, man, we sure did need him tonight, man. He was big time.
Max, great game. I said when the overtime started, they need Tyrese Maxey or Tobias Harris to help out right now. And the first time you got the ball in the OT, you just turned the corner, put your head down. You had that patented one-hand scoop shot. What were you thinking beginning the overtime?
Yeah, Doc drew up the play. James told him to go draw the play for me so he can get a little break. And he said Tyrese going to make the layup. So, they have confidence in me. I have confidence in myself, and we got it done.
Tyrese, they had a chance to win at end of regulation. They had a chance to win it there. Smart hits a three, but it comes too late. Talk about the defense down the stretch, both end of regulation and end of overtime.
It was huge, man. The guys stepped up big. I mean, guys were out there talking. Peter Tucker was huge, talking like he always does. But, man, it was a big-time win, man. We let the game kind of slip away from us, but to be resilient like that and everybody make plays down the stretch, that was big time. Good job, Tuck.
How do you feel now going back? This thing has just been, you give them a punch in game one. They bounced back. It looks like they took home court back, which they have. Now you guys are going back. You already proved you can win there one time without Joel.
Yep, we got to win there one more time. We played 4 games in this series. The series could be no closer, right? two is the closest it could be, man. So at this point, there's no, it basically evens out. We got to go out there and win a game, man. And, we'll be ready to fight.
Tyrese, thanks a lot. Best of luck up in Boston for game 5 on Tuesday.
All right, y'all.
There you go. Tyrese Maxey, 14 points, 8 rebounds for the 76ers, who got 42 from James Harden, 6 3-pointers, including the go-ahead triple with 18 seconds left in overtime. And I didn't know, PJ, if Joel Embiid had 46 minutes in him tonight, but he didn't come off the floor down the stretch, and he ends up with 34 and 13.
He only had 4 points in the fourth quarter in the overtime, and the one in the fourth quarter was with 7:15 to go when Harden made that steal, and he got down, and Joel had a layup. But he had a big bucket in the overtime, and he gutted it out. And when he's on the floor, there's no question you got to pay attention to him. You have to play him. But I'll tell you what, James Harden was first game James Harden again, Kesty. You cannot play any better than James Harden played this afternoon.
Yeah, Boston was making a comeback early, third quarter, hits a big 3 to stem the tide, had a couple of big defensive plays and steals, hits that 3-pointer. That's just 4 of many plays he made. And by Philadelphia pulling this out, think about the controversy that would have been sparked on the block charge, Embiid and Smart in overtime.
Well, you had that one, and then you had the Jason Tatum
the push-off
with the right arm. That one, to me, was more cut and dried. We'll see. It's a moot point right now. Celtics have got to regroup now. They're going home. That's the good news. 2 out of 3, but still, that is a devastating loss for the Boston Celtics,
who will host game 5 of this series on Tuesday night in Boston. Which James Harden will show up? The one who had 45 in game 1 and had 42 in game 4, or the guy who shot 18% from the field in games 2 and 3? We'll find out today. Harden went 16 for 23, 70%, 6 of 9 from 3, 42 points, including the game-winning triple late in overtime. And by the way, what do you have, rebounds and assists?
8 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 steals, and a block. Other than that, just kind of a ho-hum game for James Harden.
Well, the NBA on ESPN Radio continues tomorrow with the Warriors and the Lakers. Game 4 of that series. We'll see if Golden State can do what Philadelphia just did to even it up. Our coverage beginning at 9:30 Eastern Time, and then PJ and I will join you for Game 5 of that series Wednesday in San Francisco. But tonight, here in Philadelphia, in overtime, Sixers 116, Boston 115. Now for PJ Carlissimo, our producer, John Medani, our engineer, Paul Schrager, I'm Mark Kestisher. They'll do it from South Philly. Let's send it to Kevin Winter in the studio with the postgame show.
Couple of questions. How do you leave up 2? How do you double and leave a 3-point shooter open? And also, something that's going to get discussed come tomorrow morning, how do you also start your offense when you get the ball with 19 seconds to go? You start it with 5. That's what happened. Philadelphia gets the win. The NBA on ESPN Radio has been presented by Indeed. Need to hire? You need Indeed.com/credit. It's an impressive win for Philadelphia. You imagine gacking up a 16-point lead with your season on the line. James Harden puts forth yet another virtuoso effort. And Philadelphia has tied the series. Highlights on the epic fourth quarter and overtime attacks. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Susan has always wanted to live in a chateau. I like a certain je ne sais quoi. While Jake is more into the Cape Cod style home.
It's a classic look.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they can save even more. In the end, Susan and Jake found a Cape Cod style home where they will only speak French.
Bonjour, je t'aime, merci beaucoup, and cordon bleu.
You'll get better with time. Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
When Shopify says you can sell anywhere, oh, they mean it. Woo, hold up. Just got a new sale, order fulfilled and shipped. Inventory levels good. Whoa, Shopify doesn't mind if you're at sea level or on top of the world. You can run and grow your business anywhere. Climbing mountains is never easy, but at least Shopify gives me all the tools I need for my business to hit new peaks.
Whether you're selling carabiners or crop tops, start selling with Shopify today and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of businesses worldwide. We've built the platform so you can keep climbing and grow your business to new heights.
With Shopify, you really can sell to anyone from anywhere.
This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Start selling online today. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/play. 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 Internet connection required. Not available on mountaintops or seafloors.
Finally, baseball is back. Swing into the season with tickets to the action. Plus, with basketball and hockey heating up, now is a great time to experience a game. Vivid Seats is proud to be the official ticketing partner of ESPN. From on the glass to in the stands, Vivid Seats has great ticket prices to all the games. Every crack of the bat, every dribble down the court. Catch it all with Vivid Seats. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live.
Monday on Canty and Carlin, can the Lakers take control against Golden State, or are the Warriors about to even things up? Plus, the Knicks in big trouble against Miami. It's Monday, Canty and Carlin, 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Coming up Monday, we'll recap all the NBA action from the weekend. Plus, has the favorite for the title changed? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Monday morning, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Kevin went to Insider Granger Studio. What a game we had in South Philadelphia. Don't forget, we're going to send most of you to coverage of Sunday Night Baseball, Dodgers, Padres, right here on ESPN Radio. Our game flow brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility and great pay and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. This game, for most of it, was all Philadelphia, led by 16 in the first half, led by 15 in the third quarter. They go to the fourth, up 9. Boston tries to chip away.
2-on-2. Harden's going to peel off. Now he's going to bounce it to the rolling Embiid. To the cup and a bucket. 30 points for Embiid in game 4. and the Philadelphia 76ers have restored an 8-point lead.
All right, so the lead's 8 there.
Tatum to Brown, catch and shoot 3, goes straight down. Jaylen Brown has Boston within 2, and a minority of Celtics fans in the crowd making themselves heard right now in South Philly. Boston coming the other way, down 2. Here's the backdoor pass and a tying reverse layup by Jason Tatum. Boston has come all the way back on the road, down 16. Tie game with 5:25 to play. Malcolm one-handed 15-footer. No, Tatum snags another rebound. He has been a man on a mission since the end of the first quarter. Here's Horford, slams it home on a drive right through the lane, and Boston has come all the way back to take the lead in Philly. Embiid against Horford, twitches once, twitches twice, shot blocked by Horford. Another Boston block. Here's Brown on the other end, Euros into the lane, pass out to Smart, squares for 3, and connects. Marcus Smart with a triple. 4-point Boston lead with 2:45 to go. Smart drives to the middle of the lane, passes out to Brogdon, gets off a 3 and connects. Malcolm Brogdon with a 3. Celtics are up 5. Doc Rivers calls for timeout. 2:03 to go in Game 4 as the Celtics bid to go up 3-1.
5-point Boston lead. It looked like the collapse would be complete for Philadelphia, but the Sixers, they got a little chutzpah.
One dribble, Embiid turns, losing his balance to Harris with 6. Harris drives the elbow. Jumper never caught the rim. Tucker's right there to pick it up and get fouled and put it in. Had a chance to tie the game at the line. It found to Harden. Shot clock already down to 5. Harden has Horford on him deep. Now Harden drives 3-point line, stops, goes into the lane, puts up a floater, and ties the game with 15 seconds to go.
39 enormous points for James Harden.
Joe Mazzulla of the Celtics doesn't like to call timeout.
Smart gives it up to Tatum. Tatum with 3 to the baseline. Tatum passes out to Smart. This is for the win. A 3 comes up short, and we're going to overtime in Philadelphia. What a look for Marcus Smart, but couldn't convert from the left wing, and we'll put 5 more minutes up on the clock.
In overtime.
Tatum. Pass to White into the corner. Back up top, Tatum on the left. Bounces into Maxey, no whistle. Launches a 3 and connects with 37 seconds to go in overtime. Boston back in front.
Well, I thought he did get away with a push-off.
Breaking news, Tatum got away with the push-off. There's not a doubt in my mind. I'll show you my driver's license, and I'll still admit that. Tatum's right arm got extended. 2-point Boston lead. Timeout. Doc Rivers out of the inbounds play.
Moves it into Embiid. The high right post banging against Tatum. Now double team comes back to Harden. Corner 3. It's good. James Harden gives Philly the lead. 42 for James Harden. 18 seconds to go in overtime.
Our 3-pointer of the game brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Proud to serve members of the Armed Forces, DOD, veterans and their families. Our members are the mission. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Again, no timeout for Joel Mazzulla.
They're down 1. Tatum with 3 seconds. Tatum on the left. Tatum drives. Tatum pass to Smart. Gets off a shot for 3. Hits it at the horn. But did he get it off in time?
Doc Rivers is saying no way.
They're going to go to replay.
No, it's no good. I just watched the replay, Kesty. That's no good.
It looked to the naked eye that it was too late. The fans have seen it. They've decided that Game 4 goes to Philadelphia.
It does. 116, 115 are getting it done. Play of the game brought to you by Granger. Like a marquee player, count on Granger for unstoppable moves that help you get more done. Click Granger.com for supplies and solutions for every industry. James Harden, after being on the side of a milk carton in games 2 and 3, was spectacular. 42 points on the game-winning three-pointer with ESPN's Cassidy Hubbard.
James, what a moment here with your friend John Howe. A bounce-back performance. What did it mean to you to put together that type of show for John and the Sixers fans today?
I put the work in, so it's all about being aggressive, man. Tonight it was really do or die. You know what I mean? I had a special guest in the building, Lil James. He just gave me good luck. He brought me good vibes, good energy, so really this game was for him.
And you may need to invite him to a couple more games in the playoffs.
Every game from here on out.
Can you walk me through that go-ahead bucket out of that pass and bounce?
It was supposed to be a dribble handoff with me, but Jaylen Brown denied me, so I just gave Joel space. And Jaylen Brown helped me. Joel made a hell of a pass, an MVP pass, and I shoot that shot every day. So.
And they made you guys work for it, but now all tied get to heading back to Boston. What type of confidence does this game and this win give this team right now?
Huge confidence, huge confidence. I feel like last game, we didn't play well offensively. Defensively, we played extremely hard, but we just didn't get no shots to fall. It was about our spacing, and tonight we did a much better job of spacing the floor, giving guys room to operate and knock down some shots.
The guest that James Harden is referring to is one of the guests from the shooting that took place on the campus of Michigan State. James Harden had said he would bring him to a game in Philadelphia. He did tonight. The guest was in attendance, and he watched Harden knock down the game-winning three. So we now have a series that is tied 2-2. Your final score in South Philadelphia, the Philadelphia 76ers pick up the win over the Boston Celtics in overtime. 116-115 is your final. The plan is it'll be game 5 coming up on a Tuesday night. And then on Thursday, we'll have game 6. And the game is going to be right here on ESPN Radio Thursday night in South Philadelphia. Someone is going to have an opportunity to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Who's going to be up by a count of 3-2? I want to remind everyone, we're going to join you again tomorrow night. We're going to be in the West for the Lakers-Warriors series. That is game number 4. Final score tonight, 116-115 in overtime, and an absolute epic thriller for the fourth quarter and on. Sixers with a 1-point win over Boston. This series is tied at 2. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. Most of you get Sunday Night Baseball. We thank you for listening to the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio.